Up W. I did that one right. Now show me YouTube. YouTube stream up. Let's go. Let's go. We're back. We're so back. Let me pause these so I don't explode my frames. All right. And we are live. Let me set up my screen so I can see chat. There we go. All right. I'm going to be starting with just like a quick little warm-up game. Make sure that everything is okay. We going for champ today? Yep. Well, oh wait, right, because we're pretty close to oh, nope, we are not getting champ today. I'm sorry to say. We are not getting champ today. But we'll probably get closer to champ today. I'm hoping that we can at least get like halfway through GM3. Yeah, last stream was a little bit rough. Soldier is... Maybe I should have dusted up a bit on my soldier before whipping it out. Yeah, I mean, bad days will happen. As long as the general trend line is up, that's the most important thing. Literally everybody on like planet Earth is gonna have bad days when they try to compete or try to grind in games like this. But as long as your general trend line is up, if you're keeping like positive win rates, then you're gonna be looking in a pretty good spot. That's what improvement looks like. Like, we have bad days on support. We have bad days on DPS. We got bad days on tank. What up, Houdini man? Understaffed Mystical Ash? Welcome, welcome. We don't gotta call me that. We don't gotta call me that. Yo, thank you for the follow, Twilight SV Tuber. Timeout? Mods. Time to Billy out. Oh wait, we're already in the game. I'm playing a quick play game just to warm up a little bit and make sure that the stream is okay. Let me know in chat if the quality is good and the audio. I ran a poll. If anyone is in the Discord, there's a poll in the stream announcement tab where I asked what we want to be focusing on for today. If anyone is like sort of, or like has like a specific hero that they want, I kept the options a little bit limited today just because I do have a DPS trial a little bit later for a team, or for like a competitive team. Unfortunately, I can't stream the scrim, but I am going to be focusing on warming up heroes that I potentially would play in that scrim. Now let me adjust some settings here. There we go. Some games are expected losses, so luck is involved. Yeah, a little bit. I mean, there definitely is luck in Overwatch. My approach with ranked in general is you're gonna have like a bunch of RNG. You're gonna have like a lot of like random moving inconsistent factors going in and out of your games. So what makes a good player, in my opinion, is the ability to showcase use your skills to get you to the victory screen no matter what else is going on in the game. I think that's what makes a good player to me. Hold that. Yeah, I'm glad we're having a warm-up game. What does a timeout do? I think it just makes it so Nev can't talk in chat. I'm really excited, I think, for today. I'm not feeling that amazing in this quick play game specifically, but I feel like once I get a little bit more warm, my Kovacs was going pretty well earlier this morning. So I'm hoping my aim might be a little snazzy, or maybe it'll be snazzy tomorrow. I usually find like a lot of, I find like a bunch of like my good aim days are like the day after I do a bunch of aim training. But sometimes if I only do it the day of, then it still is just kind of like mediocre aim. But my baseline for moving my mouse is pretty decent. Okay, yo, we gotta warm up the pulse bombs if it's a Tracer day. I think that the options on the that I put in the Discord poll were Tracer, Genji, Echo, Mei, Symmetra, and one other I'm forgetting. I think as soon as I figure out like what we're doing for today though, or at least what hero we're playing, it's gonna be a good set. I can feel it. We're gonna get some good games. Maybe that's a gambler in me. I was playing a bunch of gambling with your friends last night for the first time. Okay, I have a small gripe about that game. If anyone's played that game, it's kind of like in the sort of like friend slop. Okay, yeah, we really gotta work on our pulse bombs. It's kind of in like the friend slop genre where you just kind of do a bunch of silly, wacky, goofy things with your friends. Things like Peak, Lethal Company sort of deal. This one's just you go to a casino with a bunch of friends and you gamble. My biggest complaint about that game, it was really fun, it was really awesome, and I had a great time. My biggest complaint, why can other people push the buttons on my bets? I was playing blackjack and my friend walked over. I had like the max bet and they don't know how to play blackjack. I was trying to play like the mathematically like correct like bets and whatnot to get like money. I wasn't like, I mean it's a computer game so you can't like sort of keep track of the deck or anything like that, but I was still like, I wanted to play proper blackjack, and then they would just randomly come in, hit like stand when I had like a 3 or something. I had like an ace deuce or something. I would have like a 4 or a 5 and they'd hit stand, and it's the only way I could win is just if they buzz. Why can't they just go in and just like int whatever I'm trying to do? I feel like whoever puts like the bet down should have like control over the rest of the actual bet, since they're the ones spending the money, though it was pooled money. Will Eevee hit a pulse bomb this game? Find out next time. That's something that's awesome about Tracer. You can have really good Tracer days and never hit an ultimate. What up, Syed? Thade? I'll always take 2 or 3 tries. If I like shotgun it and put out like a bunch of possibilities of how I could pronounce the name, I'll get it right eventually, right? Which mousepad and mouse do you use? I use I have a custom printed mouse pad, so it's I can't like link it to y'all. I love my mouse pad. I'll have a hand cam on one day. But for the mouse I use, okay, my favorite mouse that I've used in the past while was the Razer Viper Ultimate. I had it before the Razer Viper Ultimate 2 came out, but I had that one for years and years and years, and then it started like to slow down in its performance and start kind of fucking up. So then I kind of cave. I put the Chum Bucket helmet on my head and I said, all hail Plankton. I got a G Pro wireless. I am not a fan of this thing. I won't lie. I'd like a new mouse pretty soon. It doesn't like, maybe I'm just strange, but I'd prefer maybe a different grip style. Never heard of a printed mouse pad? You've heard of printed mice? Yeah, there's a pretty decent market for getting like custom art on your mouse pad or something. And like custom textures and whatnot. So you can really like, my first time that I was in college, I was in a apartment with 2 like huge aimers. Like they were part of like aim groups and whatnot. They have like top Kovacs players, Kovacs and Aim Labs players, and their aim groups would send like a bunch of different mouse pads and mice to our apartment, like on like a monthly basis almost. So I got the chance to try out a bunch of different mouse pads and mice while I was there. But I only have like the two, or I have a backup mouse pad. I have my one singular mouse. And I need to try to get some more. But what I got going on is pretty decent. Does Kovacs offer similar/same analysis? Similar same analysis as AimLab? Yeah, it offers similar analysis as AimLab. They're pretty comparable. I prefer Kovacs just because there's a little bit more of a range of scenarios that you can create. But AimLabs or Kovacs are both really, they do the same thing. It's just kind of a preference thing. I would probably recommend, if people are trying to get into aim training, just pick up AimLabs so you don't have to spend any money. You're freaking use heavy mice? I really like heavy mice. You finally hit damage on diamond? Or diamond on damage? Good shit! Wait, that's awesome, X said. You weren't either. The hump on it feels so weird. Yeah, yeah. I just don't like the G Pro. I'm gonna be looking for a different mouse fairly soon. But for now, I have a few other things that I... Oh! Whoa. I'm trolling. Okay. So, I have not yet seen what the plan for today was, or who actually won the poll. So, I'm gonna show the results here as soon as I hear like the queue pop, maybe. So the options were Tracer, Genji, Echo, Mei, and Sim. Mei is probably what I forgot to list earlier. I'm only doing, or I gave these as options because I just have a trial block later for Flex CPS, so I wanted to make a video about Flex CPS heroes. I will say, there's a big like request for Venture, or a Venture video pretty soon. So I'm going to be, probably for our next DPS stream, I'm going to be practicing Venture a little bit off camera so I can actually make it productive or educational, because I straight up just don't have hours on the hero. Okay, here's the Q pop, and it looks like Tracer is the one that won. Oh no, I gotta play Tracer. My probably most played DPS. With Tracer, they're going to be good on a lot of different areas, though I think that Tracer really excels on maps like Push and Flashpoint because you're going to be able to pressure the point a lot more consistently than other less mobile heroes. So I'm going to be trying to vote Saravasa, though Runasapi is still very okay for us. If Tracer is not available, then we're going to be playing some Echo because that was the second most voted for character for today. So if we don't get Tracer, then we're just going to be leaning into Echo, either if our teammate plays Tracer, or if they're banned or anything like that, then we'll just be playing Echo. But we're going to be trying to lean into Tracer whenever we can. Bans on Tracer that I'd like to have, I didn't really think about it, well, because I checked what other... Cassidy is a really good ban for Tracer. Heroes that you're not going to be able to interact with too much are going to be a really good thing to try to look to ban on Tracer. So for my future games, bans that I could potentially be looking for, Torbjorn is a really good ban for Tracer. It's just kind of one of the straight up counters. Cassidy is awesome. You're not able to interact too much with like a Pharah. Super much, or a good Pharah as Tracer, though a lot of the times you'll end up being able to catch them out. I think that for our bans in the our future games, I'm going to be looking to ban probably Cassidy, Reaper, and maybe even Kiriko, I think. Kiriko ban, I think, is a really huge thing for Tracer. While Kiriko is a really good hero to support Tracer on lanes and sort of like side fights, they have the mobility to keep up with Tracers sort of blinking all around the map. Without Kiriko in the game, your pulse bombs are going to be way easier to get value, as well as you're going to have a lot more favorable 1v1s against almost the entire rest of the support cast. Brigitte also is a really good ban for Tracer. But starting this game, I see a Doomfist, and our team has a Lifeweaver Lucio. I hear their Tracer on the right side, so something really important about Tracer is the sort of like 1v1 or the Tracer duels. I am going to get caught out though, since I didn't expect their entire team to be on that right side, though it's a little bit of help from our Lifeweaver. We're going to be fairly safe. As soon as I see my teammates go down, I'm just going to be looking to try and chill a little bit. And as soon as I get their Tracer low, I want to try chasing, but as soon as the rest of their team sort of starts to walk up, I'm just going to be popping my recall. With their Doomfist a bit overextended, I want to see if I can peel and pump in some damage into them. And their Soldier 76, because I know they don't have their Helix Rocket, they're not going to be too big of a threat for me, so I can actually just go take that 1v1. Understanding on Tracer what threats are around on the field and what 1v1s you can really take, or sort of who you can shoot freely, is a really, really, really big deal. Because you have the smallest HP pool in the entire game, and it's very easy for you to just get kind of like one-shot or randomly blown up. So keeping track of the things that are capable of just randomly one-shotting you or blowing you up is a really important thing to do. And it dictates a lot of how you want to path and your movement. So as I saw their Doomfist charging their punch, I want to be putting a little bit of damage into that guy. But as soon as their team starts to look to +1 me a little bit, I'm going to be looking to back up. The main thing about Tracer 1v1s is whenever you can, there are two aspects. You want to be using your blinks to not be behind their crosshair and put your crosshair on them. I know it sounds forehead, but just focusing on it in duel can help a lot. As well as you want to be fighting dirty. You want to bait the Tracer into an area where you can get support or care, and make it really difficult for them to have like a clean, fair 1v1. I didn't hear their Doomfist charging punch because their Soldier popped Tac Visor. Very unfortunate, but sometimes that's just one of the instances in which you might get blown up on Tracer. Thinking about my perk choice here, I think that into their comp, I kind of want the longer blink distance. I know both are very, very good. Both Tracer minor perks are very fine, and whichever one feels more comfortable for you, I recommend picking. I do think theoretically the blink distance perk is probably a little bit better, though the melee perk is really helpful for actually having uptime and damage. But the blink distance allows you to control a lot more space and be safer and go for a little bit more aggressive plays frequently, compared to the melee ones, which are going to help once you're actually in. But a lot of Tracer's issue as a character is not getting in, or it's not doing damage or getting value once they're in. It's the difficulty of getting in that I think Tracer usually needs help with, especially with longer range heroes like their Soldier 76 and their Doomfist and Tracer being able to chase us down. I'm picking the longer blink distance perk because it will allow me to close gaps a lot faster and actually follow up on anything that my team wants to be doing. As their Doomfist goes for a play on us top left, I'm just going to be looking to recall and then develop space in a different location. We see their Tracer take down our Sojourn, which is definitely sucks, but I want to see if I can potentially look for a quick little pulse bomb onto their Soldier and then recall out. Unfortunately, I will be going down in that play. Our mechanics aren't sticking as much as we kind of want them to, but like I always say in a lot of my videos about push especially, only the last 2 minutes really matter. Anything can happen in the last 2 minutes if you have decent ulti con. So I hear their Soldier get hit by our spikes. I'm just going to be wrapping around this right side. I could be standing main and helping us push the cart right now, or I could be trying to pressure their backline. As soon as their Kiriko hits a headshot on me, it's going to be my trigger to just sort of start to back up, but unfortunately with them chasing us, it's going to be taking us down. I'm adjusting a few things here, making my music a little bit quieter. I've died a few times now to not being able to hear things properly. I didn't hear the Doomfist charging their punch, and I didn't hear their Kiriko walking up towards me, so I turned down my music a little bit, so hopefully I could hear it a little bit better. As this Tracer is very close inside of our space, I'm going to be leaning towards health packs. The other thing about Tracer duels that's really important is maintaining like good awareness of the health packs around you to fight dirty. Like how I was saying a little bit earlier, if you can bait a Tracer into an area where your team can help you in the 1v1, it's a huge benefit. And the same thing goes with health packs. If you're able to get a health pack in a Tracer 1v1, it's going to give you a massive advantage to the point where you will just be able to win most of them if you get a decent health pack advantage. So we see the Tracer recall gets used, so I'm going to be chasing that down. As well as I'm going to be taking the health packs give you back blinks perk. Why I pick these two perks instead of the more common melee one and overhealth on recall is because, especially when I'm playing against an opposing Tracer, like how I was talking about health packs being a really awesome tool. It's really nice to have the option to just steal a health pack from an enemy Tracer if you get an advantage, even if you didn't take any damage before, because there are a lot of times where you'll see in Tracer duels oh, I need to get out. There are a lot of times in Tracer duels where you'll get a bit of an advantage through just like out aiming or something, but you're not going to actually have the advantage yet. So being able to use your blink to take away their health pack that they could potentially use to turn the advantage around is a really amazing option for you to be able to have. So thinking about, we were able to win the 1v1 against the Tracer and then find the stick onto the Soldier. Now I could be looking to help my team through this left side, but I think I'm going to try to lock down this this jump pad area instead, because if their Tracer is able to get a good flank onto us, then my team is going to be looking in a pretty rough spot. So I'm just going to be marking out their Tracer, and as their Kiriko walks towards us a little bit, I'm going to be playing back further. Since I got +1 in that sort of 1v1, it means that there's going to be less resources towards my team, so I'm going to be using this longer blink distance perk to exploit that advantage and go help my team. But as soon as their Tracer starts backing up again, I'm just going to be trying to hold down this space and make it difficult for the rest of their team to be finding value, because they have to deal with me before they actually have a good line of sight onto the rest of my team. So their Tracer still wants to be fighting me. I see their Doomfist chasing down my Moira, but as their Doomfist and their Tracer are both around there, I don't want to be fighting that 2v1. So I'm just going to be backing up to my team to either help them a bit or get some help from them. Ideally both. But as their Doomfist falls fairly low, I'm just waiting out their punch before I look for my kill. A huge pull from our Orisa, but unfortunately we will be not quite able to keep our Orisa up to get the damage. Mercy using their Valkyrie to get out. There's 1 minute left on the clock. We almost have our Kitsune rush. I'm just going to be pushing the card as far as I can and then getting out, since if I die there, it's going to be kind of yucky for us to stagger, and it's really good if we're able to mark out some of the threats who want to be approaching the car. Doomfist looks for an early punch. And I ideally want to find a pulse bomb onto the Mercy. That's kind of my win condition in this fight. I see their Soldier far back on the coast, and their Doomfist continuing to sort of mark me out. I could also just chase this Doomfist with my pulse, but I'm going to be whipping somehow, but still taking down the Doom. It does make it a little bit hard for my team. Even though we have our Kitsune rush, we're still going to fall over to the Visor. 20 seconds left on the clock. Their Doomfist will be back in the fight by the time we arrive. So, hopefully I can definitely get this touch. That's going to be my primary job right now, and what I really need to focus on is not getting forced out so I can trigger overtime for my team. And since their Kiriko ends up being pretty close to the cart, that will be an easy flip for us, and then we were able to put damage onto the soldier later. I really want these kills. I want these kills bad. Even if I died there, I really wanted to make sure that their Kiriko or their Mercy would not be able to respawn, because getting those staggers is going to be a massive, massive thing for us, because the overtime is procced. Since overtime is active, it means that their respawn timers are going to be a little bit longer. I see that their Doomfist is on that right side, but I see 3 are on this left. I'm going to be trying to take a little bit of attention away. What the fuck? I'm trying to just press for their Mercy as much as I possibly can, but as they pop their Valkyrie, there's not going to be too much I can do. So I'm just going to make sure that I can live, and I'm taking a little bit of attention away from the enemy team and just be a bit of a rat. I don't want to let them get their full, like, sort of focus onto our team. No, I didn't realize they rezzed. After we killed the soldier, I figured that that space was just clear. Oh, truly a tragic end to that fight, as well as I didn't see the block out from the Doomfist, so they were able to, even though I stuck them in the back, they were not able to, or they were able to use their block to mitigate most of the damage and charge an empowered punch. I think the main issue though is that I didn't realize that the soldier was rezzed, as well as I wasn't doing too well early in the game, but that will be a-okay. We go down to GM4, but our general trend line is up, and I'm feeling fairly confident that we're getting, or we're performing better and better on Tracer as time goes on, so I'm not too worried. But with that first game out of the way, let's get into our next one. Bang! And then, like, editing Eevee is going to be cutting right there, and then it's going to be pulling us right into the next game, and it's going to be awesome. You like the health pack perk, but it seems most pro Tracers are picking the other perk these days. Yeah, I see a lot of pro Tracers picking the Quantum Entanglement, and it makes sense. It's really, really safe. As well as Blink Packs is it's kind of possible to shut down a lot of the value you can get from Blink Packs, either through a hero like Hanzo or Sombra or another Tracer. Anytime that health packs aren't enabled or aren't, like, available on the map, it can be really hard to get value out of them. So the Quantum Entanglement is, like, kind of guaranteed value, while Blink Packs is very, like, there's outplay to it. Yeah, thank you for the follow, Daco FPS. I appreciate it. Yeah, this Tracer skin in the gun was really fun. It's one of the things that we did a little bit earlier, is we were trying to decide what kind of weapon variant we would get. So we ended up getting the Galactic gun because it paired super, super well with the skin. If we put on a different skin, it looks way different. But with the combination of the 10 years cheers, it looks so cool. It looks so cool. It's like double shiny. The Super Striker is super light. I just have a super light. Yo, thank you for the follow, Alera. Thanks for tuning in. Okay, I was really bad with my pulse bombs there, so I want to be getting into Vaxa so I can practice a little bit. If I'm able to start hitting sticks a little bit more consistently, that is going to be one of the main things that you can use to just, like, actually turbo carry games on Tracer. If you're sticky, oh my gosh, the game gets so easy so quickly. I think main issue is I was just kind of rushing them. As soon as I started to slow down a bit and actually line up the projectile, I started to do a little bit better. So I'm just going to be focusing on that in this Vaxa. And that was just too far away. I can just be kind of treating it like a Genji, like one tap, where I can, like, blink up and then pulse. But in, like, a Tracer 1v1, you actually have to be a little bit faster because they're ready to blink away. They don't like it when you're too close. Yeah, but I'm just rushing. That's, like, the main issue whenever I'm having a bad aim day. It's just, like, I try to do things a little bit too fast. I don't think I'm necessarily having, like, a horrific aim day, but it's definitely not the greatest. Yeah, as soon as I slow down, sticking becomes really easy. But as soon as I try to go like fast, it's just like a few extra milliseconds to just see how somebody's moving. Love your videos, they really help you. You're struggling on tank right now. Oh, good luck with the grind. I'm glad that the videos help you though. I'm excited for some of the future content. I will be... Tank is going to be really interesting. I have a series or an event lined up where I'm going to be kind of going into a bit of depth about tank with some unique challenges. So hope you all stick around for that. But oh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited for that future series. Explain what I'm doing really well. Thank you. I'm a little bit worried about this video, I won't even lie, because Tracer's just really hard. There's just a lot of micro to Tracer, and it requires like a lot of brain power to just kind of like manage it all. I feel like it's so hard, or so rare to see like a mega talkative Tracer player. Just because the hero has so much that they have to do constantly. Unless the person just has like a gazillion, million, trillion hours on the hero. Which I have a lot of hours on Tracer. They're maybe my most played DPS. But not as much as I do on like Wrecking Ball or something, which is another similar hero, but I have a ridiculous amount of hours on Wrecking Ball, so I'm able to do most things subconsciously. Let's just slow down a little bit. Did I read the Fall of the Sparrow short story? No, not yet. I don't read. Okay, I'm high key a noob when it comes to cosmetics and the lore of this game. I was really into it when like 2016 through 2018, but now I'm a mega noob. I don't know much about the lore anymore. Would I ever do Sombra for these? Yeah, I would do Sombra. I'll have a Sombra video in the future. I'm going to try to get through all the DPS before actually repeating. Or I'm going to get through all the heroes before trying to repeat a video about a specific hero. And allowing myself to... oh, wait. I love... Kiri ban? I didn't mean to ban Juno. That's okay. We got our Kiri ban. Alright, and we get our second game for today. Looking to be King's Row, the bands of Widowmaker, Kiri, Zarya, and Hazard. Gonna be continuing to lock Tracer. Juno ban, that's disgraceful. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to ban Juno, I just meant to ban Kiri. On King's Row with our team comp, as Tracer, we're going to be wanting to mark out a lot of threats. So a very big and important thing that you can be thinking about to find consistent value, or just give yourself a general baseline of an idea that you can be playing around as Tracer, is seeing what your comp wants to be doing and what the rest of your teammates want to be doing, and then how can you support that as Tracer. Tracer has a lot of mobility and has a lot of ways in which you can approach the game, so identifying or giving yourself a clear path to follow can be a huge benefit. Because Tracer, I'm able to pressure their backline a lot, I'm able to control space on lanes around my team, I'm able to sort of like shoot the front line even. Tracer's gun does a lot of damage to tanks, and I feel like a lot of people kind of forget about that sometimes. There's a lot of ways you can approach, so with my team comp of Hanzo, Sigma, and Ana, Lifeweaver, they all want to be sort of like chilling, poking, and just pumping in their damage. So I'm going to be trying to identify any threats that are going to be prevalent through like angles or using their mobility, and look to fight them and mark them out so they're not able to really disrupt my team who wants to be just kind of doing their own thing. I'm fairly low and the Emre finds a good nade onto us, so I'm going to be popping my recall. But with their Sigma getting decently low on statue, I can't quite follow up on it. But I am able to blink towards this Emre and then force their pistol. With their Emre on low ground now, I can be pressuring their backline a bit. There's not too much I can actually do to their Sigma. So I'm just going to be pressuring their backline a little bit, trying to get any value that I can, but unfortunately their composition is going to be pretty sturdy in that hotel room, and if we try to walk in there, we're going to have to deal with the Mizuki M1s bouncing all over the place, and their Junkrat nades doing the exact same thing. So I'm just going to be backing up, getting a health pack, and I'm probably going to look to open this. I think that their team actually has a bit better raw numbers, so I'm going to be keeping an eye out for my Ana nade. As well, I'm looking for triggers now to get really, really active and aggressive on. So I see their Juno just kind of like hopping around on the point. I was wondering if maybe I could try to find that kill, but as their Junkrat sort of jumps up to me, I want to completely avoid that, and then I am able to get the kill onto the Juno a little bit later. I just want to be forever present and lurking. Their Junkrat has done 0 damage to our front line this fight, and I got a kill on the Juno. So our value is really good here. Even if we're not necessarily doing a lot, we're taking a lot of attention that makes it very difficult for their team to be winning in the way that they want to. With our Flux being used, the Mizuki trying to step onto the point, I'm going to be trying to catch their teleport back, and I am successful in doing so. I really want to see if I'm able to live so I can continue to pressure the enemy team. Huge rock from our Sigma that I'm going to be in range to follow up on, and we will be winning this point. Their team has a gazillion trillion things that can just one-shot me, so I think that it's going to be really hard to find value out of our kinetic reload perk. So I'm going to be taking the blink distance perk again, to hopefully be able to follow up on targets that get low a little bit better, as well as, since our team wants to be playing pretty pokey themselves, since our team wants to be playing pretty pokey themselves, they're just going to be trying to exchange some like numbers with the enemy team. And oh, goodbye. No, I'm okay. Awesome sauce. So the longer blink distance perk is going to allow me to follow up on any sort of like advantages that we get way easier. So we are successful in finding the pulse bomb onto the Mizuki, and we're going to be able to negate most of the value they would get with their ultimate because of that. So with their Junkrat still lurking on that top left area, I don't want to be around there. I cannot fight that Junkrat in closed space, but I can fight this Emre. I just need to be careful of nades, so I'm going to be saving 1 or 2 of my blinks as I approach, because if they get their nade off and I don't have a way to escape it, things would look really bad for us really fast. As I get into range where I would get carried by my supports, I want to actually turn around and fight that Juno, because I'm going to have a very advantaged 1v1, as well as Tracer is just super favored into Juno in a 1v1. So with me getting healing, that is going to be an awesome duel for me to try to take. Though, unfortunately, I get them low, but trying to follow up will be getting me killed. If I was able to trade there, it would be amazing value, since Juno is going to be such an important hero for their comp to keep everyone alive and maintain the numbers or the healing that they would need to stand on the point properly and shoot their guns. It's going to be a really good trade for us if we can take them down. Their Sigma uses Flux. I was going to just sort of chill on the cart, but as soon as I saw their Junkrat was not holding that left area, I wanted to immediately sort of walk forward and take it. Ray used from their team, Ray and Flux both being used. I'm going to be looking for just like a really fast exit kill, but unfortunately I'm not able to find it, which will be a-okay. We're going to have an insane amount of ult coming into this last fight. So what I want to be thinking about is what can stop our ultimates. I know that they're coming pretty close on another Mizuki ult, so I'm going to be looking for my pulse bomb to try to take down the Mizuki this fight, to see if we're able to actually stop them from negating potentially some of our damage with our Nano or our Valk coming up. But as our Flux finds the kill into the Junkrat and our Ana just straight up kills our Mizuki, I think things are going to be looking pretty good. I want to see if I can bait this tire onto me instead, because I have a lot of mobility and ways to sort of like live if it tries to explode on me. I want to take that gamble instead of having it walk towards my team, who have far less options towards actually like living a tire. As their Mizuki dashes forward, though, they're going to be trapped in that little mini room in which we're going to be able to follow up on. There are not many health packs on this point, so I'm just going to be taking the overhealth perk, since this might be a little bit hard for us to find value out of the refreshing blinks with health packs perk. But it will not matter. We will not have to recall ever, because we will just be winning at that point. I think that it's going fairly well. We're taking a lot of attention in the back line. We don't want to be taking the sort of front to back numbers exchange. We don't want to be stacking on our team as Tracer, because we don't actually have that heavy hitting of a gun compared to the rest of the lobby. So we want to be finding value on other parts of our kit, using our self-survivability and our mobility to take angles and make them turn around for us, so that they're not able to put or get the value that they really want to have with their big numbers and their heavy damaging guns. They would have to turn around and try to shoot us instead of shooting our front line, which is going to make a lot of opportunities for our team, as well as it's going to be negating most of the value that the enemy team wants to be having. So even if we're not getting kills, us just merely being there, our presence is value inherently. There are going to be a lot of times on Tracer where you might not have a bunch of kills. You don't need a lot of kills to win, but you just need to be active. You just need to be a pest. So I think that we're doing that pretty well. But the thing about Tracer is your mechanical ability as you're being a pest is going to allow you to find a lot of kills as you're taking attention, as you're pulling like resources away from like the rest of your team. So the better your mechanics are and the better your movement primarily is, you're going to have a lot of options to really just find kills off of any attention that you're pulling. I don't have my blink distance perk anymore, so I'm leaning back on the stairs instead of up. But as Lucio walks towards us, I'm just going to be chilling and just sort of like shooting them out. Again, I just want to be lurking. I just want to kind of be a pest. As Lucio walks a little bit more forward, and I don't have the HP to really like fight them, I'm just going to be chilling. Their Lucio's main job is just going to be marking us out so that we can't pressure the people that we really want to. But that is a-okay for us, because the rest of our team wants to be poking. I am super fine if their Lucio is like sort of standing around us, not giving the rest of their team the ability to speed in. And any time that the Lucio is not marking us because they want to be speeding in the rest of their team, that's going to be our chance to really get active on the back line. So as we can see, their Lucio stopped looking at us, and it's going to give us a free, easy access onto their Junkrat, in which we're going to peel a lot of attention. Our team is going to be able to live, since the enemy team... Oh, I want this. Fuck. Since the enemy team wasn't able to follow up on the play that they were using with their Lucio amp, and they didn't have enough damage because their Junkrat was completely out of the fight, we were going to get a lot of value there. That play on the Junkrat was completely and utterly unnecessary. There was no benefit to killing the Junkrat there. I just wanted it. I was just greedy. And I died for it. Huge kill coming out onto the Wrecking Ball. I think that I can be taking that opportunity to sort of step onto their backline again, and we are able to find a kill onto the Life Weaver. Junkrat's pretty close, and Cassie is in range, so I'm just going to be using these pillars to live the best that I can, and then as soon as our Cassie gets in range to flashbang, I'm just going to be blinking away, making sure that they don't have an easy time killing us. Our Ana, I don't really know what that was, but I hope that our Ana had fun. But with my Pulse Bomb ready, we have 5 ults on the board. I think that I could be looking for a very early pulse. It's a really good habit to, if you're feeling sticky in a day, you can be going for a lot of aggressive Pulse Bombs early, because it's a super fast charging ultimate ability. You're going to be able to find so much value. If I could hit a Pulse Bomb right now, like instantly, that's like 15 seconds off of the clock for the enemy team. It's going to be a bunch of value. Basically off of like every aggressive stick that you're hitting. Though there are also times in which you can be using your Pulse Bomb to deny plays, where if I know that the Wrecking Ball is going for a really aggressive play, I can just be saving my stick to just instantly blow up the tank on whatever they want to do. But using our nano boosted damage and mobility, we're going to be walking towards our spawn, and we end up forcing Life Weaver Tree and the High Noon, which is going to be very good for us. Those are going to be two of the things that really were important for us to find a way to deal with, because we were running a little bit low on ultimates, and I'm very glad that we were able to get those out when we did. I don't know what's going on with the enemy team. This game feels a little bit weird. Maybe they stopped trying. But that's no reason for us to stop trying ourselves. Maybe there's some sort of... maybe there's something going on between our Ana and their Wrecking Ball. I'm not too sure. But we are looking to be in a pretty good spot to win this game. One fight remaining. The Wrecking Ball wants to be looking to touch the point. Lucio falling very low, but unfortunately I don't think I'm going to be able to chase that, since their Junkrat and their Cassie, both two heroes very capable of just sort of like one-shotting us. We're in range if I wanted to follow up on that Lucio. I'm not going to be able to do it. Still just keeping a lot of track of the threats that can just blow us up or can kill us. But doing all of that, making sure that we don't die too often, and taking a bunch of attention away from the enemy team, we are going to be winning that game. Big plays from our entire team. I think that our team played it pretty well, and I really am curious what was going on maybe in like the voice chat of the enemy team, but unfortunately these might be one of the mysteries that we will not have solved. So with that said, let's see what our next game looks like. Bang. Lukewarm! Hi Lukewarm, welcome. Yeah, the guns are so pretty. Always remember to Hulk smash your keyboard after dying to Junkrat. Oh, okay. I can do that next time. That makes sense, because then they'll like know I'm enraged. Every season I play really well, but it seems like the more I play, the worse I get. Do you have any advice on what to do when you feel like you've hit a plateau? Change things up. Dare I say drastically. Shift things up. The issue with plateaus, at least my theory about how players end up plateauing, is that they start to get too familiar in their current ideas. So you'll see a lot of the ways that people will break out of plateaus in any sort of field in life is to have a crazy big like environmental change where it forces you to come up with different ideas or sort of look at different aspects of your brain to come up with new solutions. After you're coming up with new solutions consistently, you're able to apply that sort of idea or that sort of process to your gameplay as well, in which you will at least have something to experiment with that could potentially get you out of your plateau. Might go down out of your plateau, might go up, but as long as you're changing and you're trying new things, you're going to be able to find some sort of shift and you won't be stuck at the same spot forever. Doomfist main, I think I read this earlier, but I think I'm a Doomfist main. Even though you don't main him, you play him 100 times better than me. Tracer is so difficult. With awesome thing, I have a video about it, or talking about how to develop like hero pools a bunch. I can play most of the heroes in the game up to champion, and then at least all of them up to grandmaster. And to do that, you just first, I'd recommend anyone to just get really, really good at like 1 to 3 heroes first. Like, learn how to execute plays, learn how to form ideas properly and execute those ideas effectively, and then build off of those ideas by adding different hero pools or different heroes that want to play for different ideas and different things later. But Overwatch is a micro-based game. If you can't hit the shot that you need to in the end, you're not going to win. So to do that, to actually effectively grind in a way that will allow you to hit the shot when you need to hit it, is to focus, like keep things familiar for a while. Keep things familiar until you're finding success in one specific category, and then you expand it later. Yo, thank you so much for the follow, Eisen. If you're streaming later, Lukewarm, I'll raid you. I actually need to DM you. I've been meaning to. That's on my to-do list. See, you've been trying new things that made you drop from Champ 5 to Masters 1. Finally made it back to GM1 after like 400 games. W. I mean, getting back to GM1 is awesome. I won't lie, like, it feels terrible. Straight up, it feels horrible to drop from like whatever your peak is, or wherever you're comfortable, or wherever you even think you might like actually like deserve to be as a rank, it feels terrible to drop out of it, but it's really important to understand that improvement is not linear. The more ideas that you try, the more sort of different methods that you take and approach the game with, the better your understanding of what works for you is going to be. The reason why like I can play so many heroes to different levels is because I just have a gazillion hours and I've tried a gazillion different things in this game. I've been playing since before, like I've been playing since the beta of Overwatch 1. So I just have a lot of hours and time in the game, and I've been able to try a bunch of different things. And there are times where I'm going to keep it so for real. My best like the biggest grind period of my life, when I was improving the most rapidly, well, quote unquote improving, I used what my teammates would used to say that my SR like was bipolar. It was unironically, I would go from 4400 to 3900 or 3600 even some days, like from like high grandmaster top 500 to low masters and back in like one day. I would just, it was actually just a slide whistle of SR. I'd go wee woo wee woo. I would fall so fucking hard and I would climb so fast based off of different ideas that I was trying. And then eventually, after I had like my huge experimental period, I was like, all right, let me see how high I can actually get. And then I was able to get, I got top 10 on tank. I got, I think around rank 60-ish on DPS, and I got rank 12 on support. But I was only able to do all of that because I just experimented so much. I just tried so many different things. Can I explain my draft process for bans? Yes. I will do that here. Dorado, very good tracer map. Not my favorite though. Okay. Loading into Dorado here, to play Tracer with, there's going to be quite a few heroes that I think would be pretty good to ban. Main hero that I'm thinking that would be, like, is almost always a consistently good ban is going to be Cassidy and Kiriko are going to be two of my favorite bans whenever I'm trying to play Tracer. Kiriko is going to be favored by our team though, so I'm not going to be banning that. Another hero that I love taking out of the game whenever I'm playing Tracer is Brigitte. So I think that for now, I'm just going to be banning Cassidy, Torbjorn, and Brigitte. Brigitte makes it very difficult to find a lot of value on Tracer because as soon as they proc Inspire, it's going to make it extremely difficult to like deal any damage to anyone in the Brigitte's general vicinity, as well as their whip shot is basically, if a whip shot lands onto you as Tracer, it kind of immediately forces your recall. And with the third person peaks and the shield, it's very, very difficult to actually win an exchange against a Brigitte whenever they know where you are. Pulse Bomb is a very fun ability to use against a Brig though. But for the most part, if a Brig knows where you are, it can make your job very, very difficult. Not impossible. If you have really good micro, you can consistently outplay Brigittes on Tracer. But it is definitely more difficult compared to some of the other supports that you might have to be playing into. So, looking at our team comp here, we have a D.Va, Genji, Cat, and Kiriko. I think that my job is going to be cart. I'm probably going to want to sit on the cart, and that's something that's really important for Tracer players to understand. The value of your kit, or a huge aspect of Tracer's value, is going to be their mobility and their self-survivability. They need very, very little resources to function on whatever plays that they actually like need or are trying to do. So if you are able to push the objective without requiring any other resources from the rest of your team, that is fundamentally busted. And you have the mobility to get out if things go wrong, and +1 later if you're, say for example, like if the enemy team sends their tank to cart to contest you, then you're able to immediately like blink back to your team and then fight a 4v5 because you just pulled a less mobile hero onto a position that they had to be. But you're able to still find value because you have your mobility to get into the fight. Things are getting a little bit hairy here, so I'm just going to be backing up and trying to live the best that I can. Our D.Va's still pushing the cart really well. Our Genji's fighting that top high ground, so I'm going to be trying to take the space that they just cleared and then later get onto the cart. But anytime that there's like a huge choke point that's really easily accessible by the enemy team, it's going to be, those are the times in which I lean a little bit away from the cart as Tracer, because it's very easy for them to deal with me and there's not too many escape options. So I'm just going to be chilling. Sometimes less, like a lot of the times, especially on Tracer, less is more. And if you're just constantly forcing plays, a lot of the time your timing and your value is going to be limited or much harder to obtain and going to be a little bit more micro focused if you're not timing things properly. I see their Junkrat trap, so I don't really want to be blinking around in that general area. So I'm just going to be chilling on this main area and helping our team clear this space while I farm my Pulse Bomb. Sticking onto the Reinhardt since I know that the Baptiste Lamp just ended. I don't want to be full blinking forward to chase any of these kills because I don't have my recall. I want to make sure that I still have an escape route so I'm able to get active instantly. First thing that I want to see is I want to see who on my team, if any of my teammates want to be sitting on the cart. And if nobody wants to be sitting on the cart, that is going to be perfectly fine because Tracer excels at sitting here. So, thinking about what ults they could have, they're definitely going to have Shatter, Tire, they're going to low-key have 5. I don't think that I saw anything. There's Bob, so with Bob, not quite on the cart. Bob actually in a really bad spot. We can just be pushing the cart a little bit more. This is a very dangerous spot, as if they're Ashe or they're Junkrat want to peek this, they can just kind of one-tap us. But with the Reinhardt dropping the cart, exactly like we were talking about earlier, the less mobile hero is forced to go into a worse position. So we're going to be able to go somewhere else and immediately find value. But as we start to win the fight a little bit, our team is now clearing the high ground. They don't have a Reinhardt to buffer them, or the enemy team doesn't have a Reinhardt. I'm just going to be able to push the cart. I see the Baptiste. I want to kill them, but I think that my other teammates are just going to be better for the job there. So I'm going to keep pushing the cart. Very scared about my Kiriko there, yeah. But with the Reinhardt alone on the cart, I could potentially look to take him down. Our Genji is successful in helping me with that. With their Ashe using their coach gun, that's going to be a pretty free kill for us. And me and our Genji are able to just kind of clean up the rest of the lobby. And then we get back to our beloved payload. Junkrat looking to touch. I think that's going to be a little bit hard for them to do so. So they're going to pop their Mizuki ult and then die shortly afterwards. Very scared of this left side space because it's super closed corridor. I don't want to stay here for long because it makes it very easy for the Ashe to land a dynamite onto us or their Junkrat to bounce a nade in a way that will just instantly force our recall or kill us. Junkrat with their M1 and concussion mine combo to just kind of be able to one-shot us from a lot of different locations is a very scary threat that we need to be actively considering. Since I see Tire, I can't really bait it onto me as much as I could last time because it's just really high up in the air. But with the cart feeling a little bit unsafe to push, I'm going to be looking for a play on their backline instead. And with their Junkrat turning for me, it's going to be my cue to leave. But we were able to pull a lot of attention and make a lot of space for our team to later take that high ground. But as our supports go down, I'm going to look for a really aggressive play and then just start chilling. That will buy time for my Genji and my D.Va to stabilize because we don't have any supports. Pulling that attention for the, I guess, aggressive play is going to allow the damage to be sent onto me and hopefully miss because I have my recall. Instead of on my team, making it harder to stable and more likely for our team to die. So I want to be going for a very aggressive play there. And if I found a kill, that'd be fucking sick. I think I am going to be looking for more aggressive plays, or at least living in their backline. I see their Baptiste lamp get used, so I'm just going to be trying to pump some damage into that. And as their Baptiste gets even more low, I'm going to take this high ground. Ideally, you wouldn't want to blink up there, but I thought of the idea a little bit too late. And with the fight already being like really active, I didn't want to waste any more time trying to path and save some blinks, because if I was able to force them off the high ground, I wouldn't need the blinks to survive in the 1v1 anyways. Tracer definitely is a little bit harder on this third point because it's so close corridors and narrow laned, as well as this oppressive high ground makes it very difficult for us to just push the cart. But it still is an option. I can be starting to push the cart here, and their entire team wants to kill us every time that we do. But as you can see, it's much easier on this third point to force us out. But we are able to, because we're just living in their walls for a very long time. Damn! Wait, no, I got shit on. That was swaggy. The shield bash to boot me away so I wouldn't be able to drop off the high ground with my blink. And then the 180 shatter. That was sick. Okay. I'm thinking about it. We definitely want to be picking Quantum Entanglement here just because while it would be nice to use blinks to get away after we contest the cart. There are not too many health packs around on this point, so I want to be picking Quantum Entanglement, especially because it will save me from potentially dying to the Junkrat anytime I recall. So I hear their Mizuki all coming out onto that little choke area. So I'm just going to be looking to try and catch them with my Pulse Bomb. Reinhardt 1 HP, huge tire coming in, and I just want to be getting on the cart. The Rein cart is going to be the maximum speed it can push, so we can hopefully stop them from, or stop the enemy team from touching and triggering overtime later, and we will be full capping that round. 12-2 with 36 seconds remaining. I think looking in a pretty good spot. Things definitely always slow down for me a bit on that third point whenever I'm trying to force Tracer, because there's just not many options that you can like really play for, at least compared to first and second point. But it's still an important sort of aspect because there are going to be some areas where there's going to be really good Tracer maps, so there's going to be like a few yucky points that's going to be very difficult to like sort of push through. Understanding how you can find value anyways, despite it being a little bit of a harder situation, is a really important aspect of climbing in general, but especially on Tracer, because Tracer is going to be one of the heroes that can do a lot of different things. Their value is very applicable in a wide variety of situations. Understanding how you can find that value consistently and adapting to whatever's going on in the game is a really important skill to have whenever you're trying to play Tracer. So make sure you're not just focused only on killing or only on pushing the payload. There's a lot of aspects to Tracer, and there's so much value that you can find. So just make sure that you're understanding what value you want to be trying to play for each time that you're in a situation or each scenario that you end up in. Reinhardt pinning on this left side, it's going to be kind of chill for us to just like slow them down and shoot them. Because if the Reinhardt is not able to get onto our team fast, then it'll allow our teammates to do that. But Reinhardt is eventually going to be able to pin onto our backline. But with them falling fairly low, I have my recall, so I'm actually going to get right up in the Reinhardt's face and try and take them down. But unfortunately, I will not quite be able to do so. I see the Reinhardt getting healed, so I'm going to be chilling and waiting for my recall. I see their Ashe on high ground. I could get on the Ashe, but as my D.Va kills it, I'm just going to try to pressure cart all that I can. But trying to pressure cart into Reinhardt and Mizuki can be very hard. But with the Reinhardt, damn, I need to be blinking a little bit faster against Curies. With the Reinhardt just being able to sort of like sit on the card, anytime we're able to slow them down on what they want to be doing, it can be insanely high value for us, because if we're able to stop the Reinhardt from playing the game essentially for a little bit, or negate some of their value and then use our mobility to get elsewhere, that's going to be really beneficial, because it's harder for the Reinhardt to get into good places to find value. But fortunately we have a lot of mobility and a gun, so we don't have to be as precise with our positioning as a Reinhardt would be. But since we went down to the Kiriko a little bit earlier, we're not going to have too much impact on the rest of this point, and we will be losing first fairly quickly. I hear their Junkrat walking on this left side area. I don't know if they might have heard me and are waiting outside that doorway, so I'm waiting to hear if I can hear a Junkrat shot before I walk. Yes, I hear a conch mine on the point, and they are able to get a good shot onto me as I peek. And we're in a pretty sticky situation now, especially that we're in kind of one-tap range for the Junkrat, but as their attention shifts elsewhere, it's going to be an opportunity for us to find the kill onto the low HP Ashe, and then slowly follow up later onto the rest of their team. Reinhardt's pinning on that right side. I don't really want to be doing too much of that. As their Ashe comes back, I'm going to see if I can avoid their LOS. We are able to bait out their coach gun, which will be amazing. Their Kiriko's not around to heal their Reinhardt because they were trying to kill us. And because of that stagger, we're going to be in a very, very good spot. I could be looking to stage up and fight towards their spawn, but I think what the play that I want to play for is holding this top left area, making it easy for me to collapse onto their team as they walk through this high ground. No, I bonked my blink. Sorry if you can hear a lawnmower in the background. I'll close my window in a second. But unfortunately, I was not able to get a good pulse bomb off in time. A huge shadow coming out from the Reinhardt is going to make it a little bit difficult. I hear their Junkrat on the high ground. I don't really want to be fucking around with that too much. So I'm just going to be trying to contest this cart as long as I can. With their Kiriko on it, I don't want to be super, super aggressive, since it's going to be very easy for me to die very quickly, since Kiriko just does a lot of damage and has not a super favorable matchup against a Tracer. But especially since I picked the Blink Distance perk and I don't have the melee reload ones, it's going to be very hard to deal with a Kiriko on her own. I see their Mizuki main, and I'm going to be looking to try and get a pulse bomb onto them potentially. Unfortunately missing, but that is a-okay. Suzu comes out, Chain comes out. We're going to be taking out both their big support CDs, and then as our D.Va goes onto the high ground, I'm just going to take the cart. And then after our D.Va starts to touch the cart, I can take a little bit of an angle. But as they back up, we're going to be losing that point, and our job is now way harder on third point. Let me go close my windows since it's also making it hard for me to play Tracer. Like I was saying a little bit earlier, audio can be a really, really, really important tool for Tracer because everything in the game can kind of just like blow you up. So hearing when you're about to get blown up is super valuable. So I close my windows so I'm able to hear a little bit better. As their Mizuki is sort of staring at us, I'm just going to be trying to chill. Our Life Weaver goes down, but the rest of our team is getting fairly active. So even though I don't have my recall quite yet, I'm going to be getting active onto this cart area. We see the Kiriko and their Mizuki inside that room area. I don't want to be super chasing because it's very easy for the Mizuki to find a lot of value onto us in those sort of small rooms because they're able to bounce their shots. As their Kiriko looks to try to chase me after my pulse bomb, I'm going to just be hiding behind the pillar, since if I'm able to negate anytime the Kiriko is looking at us and we're not dying, that is a big W. That's a huge W. Kiriko is able to provide so much raw number value. Damn. Kiriko is able to provide so much raw number value that anytime we're able to stop them from using those raw numbers for a little bit by appealing their attention, it's going to be a really, really, really good thing in a lot of scenarios. We see their Ashe on the cart. I'm going to be trying to clear this high ground a bit. We hear Mizuki all coming out. I just want to stall. My objective right now is to just hold the point as long as I possibly can, because we have so many good ultimates coming up. But unfortunately, with Bob and Tyre on the cart, we're not going to be able to get our rush or our tree out in time, and we will be getting full capped right back. Still very super winnable game. We have a minute, they have a minute and 50 seconds, so they're going to get about like 1.5 more fights or 2 more fights than us, but that is very okay. Main thing that we want to be making sure that we're keeping note of as Tracer here is anytime that we're winning a fight or we're getting an advantage and we have access to push the payload, it's going to be super good for us to be able to push the card a little bit further. Especially in these sort of extra round moments where it's very unlikely for you to be able to get a full cap unless you're just consistently rolling or winning the game through just raw kills. Getting more distance on the payload can be a life-changing like opportunity for your team. It'll allow you to get back and potentially get an extra fight on your defense, or it can make it way harder. But I'm going to talk about it maybe a little bit, or hopefully I'm able to talk about it, but there are going to be some points where it's better for you to try to just win the fight rather than getting more payload progress, especially if it's like on that sort of choke point area. Even if you have access to push the card a little bit further, sometimes it's better to just let it be and trying to win the fight instead to get it off of the choke point, because there are just going to be a few areas where your team is likely going to want to hold. I'm waiting to see what perks I want to pick. I think I'm going to try the ammo one because we're on attack and we are kind of losing the game and we kind of need to make something happen. I'm going to be picking perks that give me a little bit more uptime. I think that the health pack perk might have been a mistake though. I see the Reinhardt on the right side, but it's going to be really hard for me to push through this main area. But I can be looking to attempt a bit. Unfortunately, with their Kiriko and their Ashe both paying attention to me, they're going to be able to take my head off as I swing. But because we pulled so much attention, the Reinhardt is not going to be able to get any care, and we can take them down shortly. I see a pedal on this right side, my D.Va on the cart. I'm going to be trying to open up this space. Tracer is going to be a very important hero when it comes to clearing space for your teammate to push into later. Hello? Okay, that's a really unfortunate time for like a one frame DC to happen. But the Reinhardt is alone on the card. Our D.Va's able to take them down. Ashe is on the left side. If I remained in the game, I'd be able to contest that Ashe a bit more, but that will be a-okay. And we will be capping first. A really awesome thing. Now, I have my Pulse Bomb. Pulse Bomb, like I was talking about a bit on Runasapi, is an amazing tool to like actually win if you're sticky. I hear they're tired and I really want to see if I'm able to just kind of live. Massive play from my D.Va, actual Mega Mind to bait the tire onto them because they have their bomb. But unfortunately I get forced out a little bit too quickly. But we are able to find the kill onto the Mizuki. I think that's going to be a pretty decent trade, which will allow our team to sort of chill in the cart a good bit more. Our D.Va to fly around a lot, but unfortunately maybe fly around a little bit too much as we're going to be off of the cart. But that is a-okay. That is super good for us. Where we will push it past the first point into the second point and hopefully give ourselves probably 3 fights here to win this game. Ideally, okay, it's gonna sound strange, we have the potential to get 3 fights, but I low-key hope that we get 2, because I would rather take it in these sort of scenarios. If you actually have control over your team and where you want to be taking the fight, maybe if you're a comms-based player, it's really important to be getting good fights and not sort of like a bunch of fights. Or if you have the opportunity to, or the chance to, it can be a really awesome thing to have a bunch of little fights to sort of drain out the clock and make it really difficult for the enemy team to push the payload, and then one really good fight at the end. You'll see it is super common in especially like a lot of pro play, where you'll anytime in these extra rounds, you can just be sort of inting your brains out on defense, just fighting over and over and over, mega hyper aggressive. And you're going to be forcing out ultimates from the enemy team because you're looking for so many plays. And if any of them start to work, the attacking team is pressured more to use their ultimates, in which you're able to sort of stockpile your ults for the last really important fight. A similar concept to like what I talk about on push a lot. I see the Reinhardt sort of walking through this right lane. So I'm just going to be trying to slow him down a little bit. I learned my lesson from last time. I'm going to be blinking through him instead of kind of on him. But that's probably going to be all the stalling that I want to be doing. We pulled like a good 30 seconds off the clock with their tank out of the game. So I'm just waiting for my passive regen to sort of kick in before doing much else. As I get hit by the fire strike, I'm going to be chilling a little bit. My diva gets fairly low as well. I'd really like to touch the cart here. But as I get dynamited, it's going to be a little bit scary. Reinhardt does drop to the point, but I hear the Ashe on this top left. I'm unfortunately not able to find the kill exactly, but I can pressure their backline pretty soon here. At least take some attention. Very aggressive play for me to commit to that fight, and their Junkrat hit some amazing shots. Like how chat would recommend earlier, I could slam my keyboard like the Hulk every time the Junkrat kills me, but that is a-okay. It's really, really just important for us to be building some good ultimates here so that we're able to hold this last sort of choke point. I would like to get my Pulse Bomb online, but it's important that it's very, very important that I do not die, and hopefully I'm able to help my Emre live as well. I don't really want to be in that little room, so I'm going to be taking this left side as it will give me a lot of access onto the backline. An amazing kill from our Emre might give us a chance to start walking forward a little bit more, but I don't really want to be pushing into that space into the Kiriko and the Ashe, both kind of outranging me, and that being very open space, so I'm just going to let that kill respawn and wait like a lion waiting for their kill. I hear their tire top. No, oh no, I didn't blink away in time. I knew they were gonna do that. Big bomb on the point. As long as our diva gets the remake, we have a very, very good chance of winning. But me dying to that tire there really just sucks because it takes the game completely out of our hands. Ashe 1 HP on the high ground. I hope our Life Weaver can kill it. We're super close to window as well. I have my pulse bomb. I can't really contest the high ground as I need to get onto the cart very, very soon. Shatter coming out from the enemy team. Emre, Mizuki ult. I just need to see my pulse bomb. No, no, me dying to the tire there is the worst thing ever. Unfortunate loss. Ended that game 20-13. Died a little bit more than I wanted to. Sometimes, as soon as we were able to hear a little bit more though, I think things got a lot better. But unfortunately, sometimes these things will happen. Not quite able to get up to our GM3 again, but that will be a-okay. What was that, our third game? Yes, okay. I'll play 1 to 2 more. So, let's see how those go. Bang. And then that's sort of like editing a video cut. I'm actually so sad about that tire. I could have played maybe a little bit more aggressively to try and scare the Junkrat earlier. But I was trying to... I kind of gambled on my reaction time. And the gamble failed. I think in the future I'll try to play a little bit more forward, since I don't actually have that stellar of reaction time. I have like 170-ish milliseconds, which is it's pretty, like, for like a normal like the average person, it's like a good bit above average, but the more you play video games, it actually like increases. So video game players who've been playing like their entire lives like have ridiculously good reaction time, and don't get discouraged about what yours might be. And it doesn't matter all that much. It's especially in Overwatch, literally just heroes like Tracer. I think just requires a little bit more, or benefits a little bit more, not requires. But you actually can increase your visual reaction time very, very easily by literally just practicing. Getting your, like, just go on to human benchmarks, like pull up the human reaction time test, and then just like do it straight up. There are a few other tips that you can have to help your reaction time a little bit, as well as your aim. Make sure that your monitor is a good distance away, and what I mean by that is not too crazy close, but primarily not really far away. If your monitor is far away, it will greatly hinder your reaction time. If you don't have a monitor at like a good sweet spot, then it actually will add like low-key an absurd amount of delay between like what your brain can process and what you can do. Sitting forward, yes, sitting forward in your chair, do not lean back. Just making sure that you're in a good position whenever you're trying to react to things. Why am I not in queue? Gold player can't get silver on supports? Aw. I believe in you. I believe in you. You can get out of silver. Hi, Ivy, do you have any tips for being more aware of your surroundings / enemy teams, cooldowns, etc.? An exercise that I had a player that I coached do a very long time ago was we would stare at a VOD review, or we would literally just sit in the hero select screen for their hero that they liked playing. Let's say, for example, now like it's Tracer right now. I would just sit through and go through like the entire cast really quickly and say, are you scared of anything on this hero? So for Tracer, it would be like Cassidy, Flashbang. I'm really scared of. I'm scared of Soldier Helix Rocket. I'm scared of Brigitte Whipshot. Kiriko's entire kit. Junkrat, like one tap potential. There's a lot of things. Roadhog Hook, Spear. There's so many things that Tracer can be afraid of, or any hero is really afraid of. So what I recommend is sit down, think about what your hero is afraid of in the hero gallery, and then when you load into your next game, remember what you said to yourself, what you were afraid of, what you don't want to be really playing into, and then think about them actively. Think about those sort of cooldowns super actively when you actually end up in game. That way you already have it premeditated. You don't need to really think about the specifics of what you might be afraid of in the game. You just need to track it. You just need to say, okay, their soldier used Helix Rocket, I can just go blow that guy up now. Just give yourself a clear goal on what to focus on with your awareness. I'd recommend doing one at a time, or like sort of like one queue session at a time to focus on like one like awareness category. So if you want to be more aware of your teammates or surroundings, enemy teams, cooldowns, etc. I'd recommend like going into like a queue session with the goal of, okay, I'm going to be really aware of my position on the map and my surroundings this queue session. That way you're able to think constantly where you are positioning yourself, as well as for enemy cooldowns you can do the exact same thing, just the exercise of what are you scared of, and then you're able to just track those constantly throughout your queue session. Just make sure that you're doing it in bite-sized and digestible sort of like pieces. If you try to learn everything about the game all at once, nobody in the world is able to do that. So make sure that you just take it sort of step by step. Yes, that's a very... It's a good habit for anything that you want to improve on, is just give yourself clear, digestible goal and just focus on it for your queue session. Sometimes, I will be completely honest with you, sometimes it will result in you losing games, and that is okay. Whenever I queue, I think, and I tell all of the players that I coach this, and it's very helpful for maintaining a good mental and a good relationship with the game. Whenever you hit the queue button, know what you're queuing for. What are you trying to accomplish? If you're trying to just have some fun, that's fine. No need to be really specific. But if you are trying to improve, make sure that you're focused on the improvement, not necessarily the results. You're focused on your process and not the victory or defeat screen. The only thing that the victory or defeat screen should mean for you if you're focused on your improvement is if it's a defeat screen, think, okay, maybe the idea that I was trying to improve on, I could be doing better, or how can I be looking to do it better? Sometimes it doesn't mean shit. Sometimes winning or losing doesn't mean shit if you're trying to focus on a specific aspect of the game to improve at. But if you're playing to win, that's also a super, super fine thing. If you're playing super, like, you want to just win, you want to grind, you want to do everything in your power to win, that's a really good goal to have as well. Just know what you're queuing up for. And it will help your mental and your habits with the game a bunch. So thinking about our next game here, Antarctic Peninsula, I want to be looking for a Kiriko and a Cassidy ban as per usual. Our tank wants Hazard and Mauga gone, which is okay with me, but we are going to get our Kiriko and our Cassidy bans through, which makes it much, much, much easier to actually play our game on Tracer. Oh, hello, Novelia. Nev did like say to me earlier that they were trying to stream snipe. I'll see if you can win this time, Nev. Thank you for the follow, Watermellow, and Phantasma, and Kuravu. Wait, Kurovatu. Thank you guys so much. Howdy friends, how are we doing today? We're doing pretty good, and we're focusing on Tracer today, Paul. And if Tracer's ever banned, or our teammate picks them, then we are going to play Echo, but that has not happened yet. Alright, so locking into this game here, we have our Diva, we have Ana, Lucio, and a Pharah. So we want to be playing a little bit more of this sort of like marking style. It's kind of a really good hybrid comp that we have going on where we can be excelling in a lot of different things. So I'm just going to be, for the most part, chilling a little bit. This right side is not feeling very good for me, so I want to try to get out of it pretty early here. But as I hear their Genji trying to get active onto our backline, I'm going to be backing up to try and support that a bit. But with our team getting a bunch of damage onto the enemies, I'm just going to be positioning myself in a way that will allow me to clean up a bit. I hear there's Zarya on this left side. I hear the Genji far left. So I'm just going to be trying to shoot out this Genji, bait him into open space. My Lucio is in an amazing spot to help support this play in this 1v1. And we are going to be able to take down that Genji. As I see their Sojourn on this main area, I don't want to be getting chained by Mizuki, so I'm using my blink as soon as they get a good LOS onto me to run away. So our Lucio's in a little bit of a dangerous spot. I'm going to see if I can help them out a bit. But with their Baptiste and their Sojourn getting very low, I think I just want to be touching the point for a second and then living. Echo finds pretty good stickies onto us, which will be completely forcing us out, but that is a-okay because we stalled for enough time to allow our team to get back into the fight and for us to maintain the point. As their team sort of backs up, I'm going to be looking to try to catch their exit route. Still wanting to make sure that I maintain my blinks in case that they're... Oh, that's... Oh. It was such a juicy pulse, but I hit recall instead of my pulse bomb when I went in for the first time. But that'll be okay. I go down, but our team is able to clean up the rest of the fight very easily. Our Lucio is taxiing us, very generous of them. We have a bunch of ultimates coming up, and they do as well. They made a few swaps, so they're not going to have either their DPS ults, but they might be coming close on their window, their Mizuki ult, and their Graviton Surge. I have no idea what the Mizuki ult's actually called. But with their Zarya walking forward, I'm just going to be trying to pester them and chunk down their HP as they remain in our range. As Baptiste gets very low, I know that they have their window and their Mizuki ult online, so I just want to continue my pressure onto their backline as much as possible. And despite their window and their Mizuki ult coming out, we will be winning that point. I think fairly solid. We had a really good start and we were just able to hold on to our momentum for a super long time, matching all of the ultimates that the enemy team wanted to use with our own. There's not too much that we need to be doing besides from just like holding down the lanes, making sure that our Ana is breathing easy, and shooting anyone who's sort of like slow from the enemy team to get into the fight, or just taking an angle and chunking down like their big threats on their team. But as they swap to Tracer towards the end there, it might be a little bit, we might want to prepare ourselves a little bit to fight the Tracer duel on the side lane. And so that seems like something that Navilli would definitely want to do. So I'm going to be taking this left side, as this closed space is going to be fairly good, or a little bit, gives us a bit more freedom compared to the open space on right, especially against heroes like Echo and Baptiste, who might benefit a lot more from that sort of big open area of the maps. But as we take down their Echo, I'm just going to be taking this angle and chunking down their backline as much as I can. We are able to find the kill onto the Juno, following shortly with the Baptiste kill. There's Zarya looking a little bit sad about how the game is going, with their Tracer backing up even further. We're going to be looking in a very good spot. Widow swap to find a kill onto our Lucio. It's going to make things a little bit more difficult, as our Zarya might be in a little bit of a rough spot. But as their team walks up, I'm going to be in a pretty decent angle. Their Lucio did see me, but as their team takes right side, I could potentially be looking to walk up a little bit on this space. But as I missed both my melees, I'm not going to get the ammo refresh that I wanted. So I'm just going to be chilling a little bit as I was forced to use my recall for that kill. But since I have all three of my blinks, as I walk up slowly, I'm going to be able to just play super aggressive still, since we still had our escape route. Something really important as Tracer is, if anytime you don't have to use a blink, it's really good to be able to save it, especially against comps like that, where they're going to have a lot of threats that we need to deal with, or use our blinks to dodge, especially when we're in. So making sure that we're able to maintain our blinks when we can is super valuable habit that we want to be getting into in a lot of games. But especially against comps like that, where they don't have too much mobility, and we're going to be just primarily playing on angles and forcing out the enemy team slowly. It's a really good habit to get into, so that we can maintain our uptime as the game goes on. Tracer has no recall, but unfortunately I'm not going to be able to follow up much on that fact, as our team kind of goes down and most of their team is able to turn around for us. We have our pulse bomb online, and I think that I'm going to be picking the blink perk because there are a lot of health packs on this map, as well as I'm going to be fighting this Tracer duel fairly frequently. I think that it's going to be very beneficial for us to pick that health pack perk. Unfortunately, getting my recall force from that Sojourn rail, I don't have too much ability. Oh, I didn't know we were ready to barrage that. I was looking for my stick onto the Graviton Surge to see if I was able to take them down, but as our Zarya goes down, I'm just going to be trying to make sure that theirs is not able to win the fight. As our Lucio killed the Tracer in our backline, we're going to be looking at a pretty good spot. The reason why this is so hard for us right now is because our Tracer is consistently getting onto our Ana, so I'm going to try to play a little bit more of a passive style role and let our Pharah cook a bit more and make sure that our Ana is a bit safer as I buffer their Tracer a little bit more intentionally. If I ever see their Tracer on a lane though, that can be a fight that I'm willing to take. We force out the Tracer's recall, so while we have our own recall available, we can be getting very active on the front line. I want to see if I can stop them from getting the flip. Not quite able to get the kill onto Lucio. The Tracer does have their own recall now, but as they get onto our Ana again, they use most of their resources trying to... Ew, nice stick. They're going to be using most of their resources dealing with us before they actually get onto our Ana, and we will be looking in a really good spot for that fight to win this game. Very, very quick game. 7 minutes is all it took, but sometimes that's just kind of how it goes. We've had a lot of very long games today, so I think that might be good to have a little bit more of a breather, and that will be getting us up to Grandmaster 3. Remember, we've had some pretty rough games recently on DPS, but as long as the general trend line of improvement is upwards, you're going to be eventually finding the rank that you want. So I'm not too stressed about wherever we end up on our DPS. And as we continue this series, we're going to be climbing up to champ. So it might just be slowly but surely, but that is a-okay, as improvement is not always linear. So let's see how the next game goes. I think last one, this next game is our last game, right? For Tracer, or for now. 1, 2, 3, 4, yes. What up, Ozzy? Wait, it's been so long, Ozzy. How are you doing? Yo, what up, Linmo? Linmanda? Linmadada. Oh my god. No, I can't talk. No, I can, like, read it, but I can't say it. Can't do more. Okay. Loki, let's see what you were up to that game, Noelia. Say Lin. Okay. Wait. You finished your game? Well, I'm about to get my game. I can't stop the show. You were doing a good bit on Tracer. You did not want to take the 1v1. Like, ever. You did not want to fight that. That's... They grab the Mega. You take the 1v1, you insta-lose. You have Echo, Bap, Zarya, Juno. You should win the numbers trade on frontline against us. Our Lucio is going to be having a pretty rough time. Oh, but as soon as they swap... Nice shot. Hey, if you finally catching one of your streams, watch your videos off and you just returning to Overwatch. That's awesome. I hope you're having fun playing Overwatch. And I hope the videos help. I've been really enjoying Overwatch recently. Well, I've been enjoying ranked in Overwatch recently. Whenever I have to scrim though, I'm playing into Cat Bastion. It's not always the most fun. But I hope that you're still enjoying it. But a dog with a butter on it. Alright, getting into our last game. I want to see if we can play Ilios. It'd be nice to play Control. I don't think, or Coliseo. I don't think that Coliseo is the greatest Tracer map of all time because it's just kind of like a flat lane and there's a lot of open space that you need to traverse, but it's also not a bad Tracer map either. It's just kind of uncomfortable in some scenarios. So, with our bans and how we want to be leaning here, I think Cassidy ban is a very, very important thing, and I also would like, I mean, Cassidy and Kiriko are both really solid bans. Other bans, I haven't explored much about what other bans could look like for Tracer. Brigitte is a really good Tracer ban. Mizuki can be. I think most of the tanks you don't gaff too much about as Tracer. So I'm going to be banning Cassidy, Kiri, Mizuki. I think Cass, Kiri are really, really good baselines, but Tracer is banned. So we're going to be leaning into Echo this game, which is very a-okay. Ending today's video off on our secondary hero, but I will have a completely focused Echo video in the future. So Loading into this game as Echo instead of Tracer, we're going to be leaning a lot more into our raw numbers trade and our actual damage numbers instead of our mobility and our self-survivability, so we might not want to be playing to take attention away as much as we were on Tracer, and more so just to straight up like stat check people as Echo. It's still very important for us to play a little bit sometimes of a lurky based play style to make sure that we can assassinate and follow up on plays that our team wants to be making, but there's a lot more agency that we can be having in terms of like the duels that we're taking, since we're going to be able to just kind of blow people up if we hit the shots on them. But with our composition being Illari, Reaper, D.Va, and Juno, it's going to be a little bit of an interesting comp. We don't necessarily have like a set direction. So how I want to be thinking about this as Echo, I'm going to start by playing a little bit main and just trying to shoot down anyone who wants to be walking up on the enemy team and trying to follow up on any hits that my D.Va or Reaper are going for. But later I can be maybe looking for my own flanks. I think maybe I want to be putting my stickies primarily into the Winston, so I'm just going to be walking up a little bit here. As the Winston backs up, I can be looking for them on this Freya. As I get very low, I can find that kill pretty early. Their team wants to be following up on me, which is going to make things a little bit more difficult, but as a Winston jumps into our team on low HP, that's going to be a trigger for us to somewhat collapse. A huge kill from our D.Va to just take down the enemy Echo, so I'm going to be taking that opportunity as most of their team is back in the spawn room to just be poking out their walk as much as I possibly can. Echo does not have fall off on her gun whatsoever, but it does have spread, so it's going to be harder to hit some shots at long range, especially since it's a fairly slow projectile. But if you're able to hit it, it does quite a bit of damage, and it's a lot of the time fairly valuable to get fairly active. With their Winston going low, I want to be stepping up a bit, but I do not see their Echo on that right side. Huge peel from my D.Va. Will hopefully allow me to get to this mega area. Amazing care from my team. And a misplay by me not necessarily keeping track of where the enemy Echo is. Our Illari goes down, and I could be trying to play a little bit aggressive, and I think I will be going for a bit of a more forward play here. As our Sierra gets low, I wanted to be trying to dupe their Winston, but unfortunately I couldn't flick down in time. Death Blossom to stop the res from the Mercy, though the enemy team is able to steal the card and potentially stagger our D.Va here, which is going to be quite rough for us. But since I have my duplication ability online, I'll be able to play my one of my favorite guys, Winston, here in a second. Though there are a lot of plays that I could try to make happen here. I could try to dupe our team's Mizuki to give ourselves a counter to the Sierra ult soon. But as their Echo goes in, I suspect that they have their own dupe, and they're going to be duplicating Juno, which is fairly important for us to note, as Ray coming online for the enemy team is going to be very hard for us to deal with. I don't have my perk yet, so I have to farm up Primal the old-fashioned way, which is going to be a little bit rough, but that is a-okay as our D.Va is able to quickly follow up. Sierra getting 1 HP, Winston going into our backline, and then Ray getting used, hopefully to be able to take down this Winston. Means that we are going to be in a pretty good spot here. I want to see if they pop Primal, and they do end up popping Primal. I didn't want to sort of dash or commit my beam because I knew they had that ultimate. In which I would be able to be a lot more of a threat to that Winston by doing a bunch of damage with my beam a bit later, rather than if I were to try and force a play and then get checked for it later when they pop their Primal. I would have been in a very bad spot very quickly. But with their team swapping to Widowmaker, the Sierra looking at us a good bit. I'm just going to be staging on this low ground as their team starts to get a bit active. We can be looking to help pressure the enemy backline. Their Winston gets a kill onto our Mizuki, and I will be going down to the Sierra. But as their Winston falls, we're going to continue pushing the cart, and I think that things are going to be looking pretty good. A massive Death Blossom from our Reaper. Not really too much for us to do here, especially since the important fights are yet to come for this game, but maybe we're just going to be able to win it straight up. Maybe we can get a sub 5-minute push map to end our video off today. As I almost have my duplicate, I'm just going to be playing really far back because I want to see if I can farm my dupe, especially now that I have my perk, which will give me 50% to the ultimate. Now I'm thinking about what ultimate do I actually want. I think I might just try to dupe Ana Loki. A massive Mizuki ult coming out for our team and a huge chain and bomb. We don't even need our duplicate and we will be winning before 5-minute mark has even passed, not needing our second dupe, and finishing off today's video with a win on Echo. I don't even think we need to do all that much there, and I was super prepared of actually like I was super prepared to have like a very difficult game to end things off on, but I mean sometimes you're just gonna win. Sometimes it's just gonna be 4 minutes. But I think we did a fairly decent job of at least doing a lot of damage and making it hard for the enemy team to play the game with our 4,000 damage. It's keeping up with the 10,000 damage per 10, and that will be getting us a little bit deeper into Grandmaster 3. So with that all said, thank my YouTube video audience for watching, and I will see you guys tomorrow with a support video. Bye bye. Bang. And then like editing Eevee is gonna cut right there and it's gonna be freaking awesome. He bought the AP game for you. I wanna know what you could have done. I'm gonna take a quick little break to just drink some water. I'll be reading chat though, and I'll keep this up in the background, and I'll let you know anything that I see. I don't really want to watch Sojourn though, so I'm just gonna watch your Tracer. I'll watch your clip dumping queue, Celerity. Then the Widow shot. Ranked games give you undue anxiety. Just run through your dailies so far since returning to the game. That's good. I mean, whatever helps you enjoy the game the best. I think that's really, really important for everyone to remember that Overwatch is a game in the end, and improvement can be a really, really fun sort of rabbit hole to go down. But if it's not fun for you, don't do it. It's okay to take the game at whatever pace you want to take it. Alright, I have your notes, Nev. I'm gonna see how you played this last fight. Yeah. Hold that. Alright. Your notes, Navilia. Your pathing is fine, the fights that you're taking are generally fine. You're just a little bit slow. You know what? I'm actually seeing a common trend of you as a player across the different roles that we've looked at together. You're a little bit slow to start walking towards the places that you need to be, and then you end up using your blinks to compensate for that fact, in which you don't have as many blinks as you actually need to actually stay in the fights that you need to stay in. I think that's the biggest thing that stuck out to me. You're just using blinks to move around the map so frequently to the point where anytime you get looked at, you're just like, you just have so few options. Don't tunnel too hard on duels, just shoot what's available to shoot. Yeah, I agree. Okay. I mean, it's still just rotations, Nev. You still just gotta look at the rotations. But for now, what time is it? It's 3. Okay, I will be shifting gears a little bit, in which I will be queuing on a champion DPS account to brush up on a lot of, or my flex CPS. So it's still going to be low-key primarily Tracer for these queues. Sorry, it's a black screen. I'm just swapping accounts really quickly. Yes, the email. But I'm going to be playing some Tracer, Symmetra, Mei, Echo, and Genji, and trying to just, if I have time, I'm going to be looking for a quick little self-VOD to see where some of my issues are. I'm going to talk about what I'm thinking of in game and what I'm trying to focus on. As I go through like my sort of like improvement or derusting process. But it won't be probably as like sort of wordy as Overwatch Every Day or the Ranked Lesson series. So it will be... Okay, Nev, we can queue. Yeah, actually that'll probably make my queues faster. Alright. Queue with Nev for a little bit. Are you on tank or DPS? Did your first comp games or last night after a long comp break and they went horrible? Probably try again later tonight though. Yeah, I mean, if it's fun for you, if it's fun to play comp, then that's okay. Like it's fun. If it's fun, keep playing it. If it's not fun, why bother? You can still be improving in just quick play or arcade. Most of the topics that I talk about are applicable to literally like any aspect of Overwatch. I don't like to use skins. Usually I don't like to use skins. Sometimes I just find them a little bit distracting, or I don't know, maybe I'm just familiar on a lot of the default skins. But I have some skins. I've been trying to lean into like playing with some skins a bit more as time goes on. But Rose is this is a good skin. Rose is not lightning. I'm not a big fan of lightning. But I do really like the Rose skin. Do I have a gun for this? No. I have the comp points, but I really think that it's funny to keep getting more comp points. So I don't think that I'll spend any. Usually do quick play, but you want to improve a lot more in the rank settings. Your video is motivated for you to try again. That's awesome. I hope that goes well. Ranked is super fun. You can queue all roles. That's crazy. Wait, how much have you grinded, Nev? I thought your tank and DPS were like... Oh, you got with GM3? Nice. How the fuck can you play support? Isn't it... Am I stupid? I thought that Champ 2 couldn't queue with Champ 5. Oh well. I get it, some skins make the hitbox bigger? No, legit. Okay. So, I need to give myself a baseline first. I need to sort of see where my capabilities and abilities are on each of my different heroes. So, I will probably start... I want to see Genji. I just played a lot of Tracer for the ranked lessons, and it's fine. My Tracer, it's not the best, but it's going to improve over time, especially once I'm off my meds. Oh, that's a crazy important thing, actually. It's really okay. It's like so techie. For the past like while, I've kind of based most of my life around Overwatch, and that still persists in some ways today. I have really bad ADHD, if you couldn't tell. But so the medication that I have, so I can be productive and I'm able to get content out regularly. I got a patch for my ADHD meds. So I can put them on and sort of take them off whenever like I need to lock in. I do play significantly better in Overwatch when I'm off my meds. Though actually it depends on the hero. Low-key it depends on the hero. If there's a hero that's like super simple and just needs to do one thing, Like, I'm a beast at Malga when I'm on my meds, but I'm way worse at them when I'm off because I get distracted by a lot of different things. But a little side effect, whenever I take off my meds, I become like, and my brain is like rewiring itself again. I get so fucking terrible at the game for a little bit. So it's very likely that this first round or first game even, I might just be the worst player in the world. And then I'll come back. Yes, it's prescribed meds. I've been working with ADHD specialists to help get the right supplements and the right meds to make sure that I'm able to be productive in the aspects of my life that I want to be. Silver and afraid of playing rank for some reason. You can't get any lower. If that's how you want to look at it. I'm going to start with Genji because I've just played a lot of Tracer. I think one thing that I want to focus on that usually helps me whenever I'm trying to de-rust my Genji is just taking a second after I dash. Because one of my big issues on Genji is I just try to do things like too fast. With my team over there, I just want to chill. Maybe I can catch up to Sojourn. And then we just chill. Wait, common sense? Wait. I made it to the manager lobbies. Okay, that was good. That's the main thing that I really want to make sure that I try to get down in this game, and I think most of my Genji is going to be able to follow shortly behind. It's just after I dash, making sure that I give myself time to like properly line up my shots. Because if that's the biggest issue with my Genji, or at least what makes me inconsistent, or what's made me inconsistent when I previously competed on Flex DPS, is whenever I would just rush my shots, I would just be terrible. Or I would be the fucking GOAT, but it depends on how good my mechanics are that day, but consistency is very important. I could dash that, I think I'm just gonna chill though. Because if I dash that and I didn't get the kill, I just insta lose. I haven't played against a Deta in like eons. I low-key forgot that hero existed. I was gonna blade, but as our Ana died, I decided that it'd be better just reset. I think for the most part, I'm playing in decent spots. I mean, I just am trying to get a baseline right now, so I want to see in this... I have 2 hours before my scrim, I believe. 3, 4, 5, yeah. I have 2 hours before my scrim, so in those 2 hours, I want to make sure that I get games on Genji, Tracer, Echo, Mei, and Symmetra, and see where some of my issues might be on those heroes. I just peel attention to make sure that my Ram is able to play the game. Uh-oh. I hate Kiriko. I low-key hate Kiri. I don't mind Kiri on like most of the time when I'm playing like hit scan or like a lot of tanks or anything, but when I'm playing like flex DPS, especially something like Genji where my main survivability requires like kills to go in the way that I need them to, it's so hard to outplay the 2 get out of jail free cards consistently. It's just so easy to bait like a very good play. I've been holding on to my blade low-key like it's a family heirloom, so I think that I might just be popping it here to get them off the point. The thing about blade is the ultimate actually sucks dick, so you just want to chill. Like, you just want to use it to bait out other ults and live. That was bad. I was a little bit too fast. Though I was inside of 5 people's LOS, so maybe it's forgivable. The queen's walking at me, so I don't really want to be over there. Since I have both my CDs, I can just... Nice, team. I just like... It's like how we were talking about on Trace. I mean, it's a lot of flex DPS. It's just like vision... concept of vision aggro, of just like making people look at you is so good. It's something that I sort of like, it's fairly intuitive to me, or at least it's familiar to me, because the same concept is really important to be good at Wrecking Ball. And that's like one of my most played tanks. Wrecking Ball and Winston, actually. Just dive tanks in general. Vision aggro is fairly important. As they're popping their sword, I think I just chill. I can be looking for more M1s. M1s are really good in these sort of like pokier times. No, the Kiriko! Okay, yeah, they're okay. Since I took off my meds a little bit ago, my brain is now rewiring. I'm probably gonna be a burger for a little bit. I think I can just be low-key stacking a bit on frontline and then just play for my blade, though. I think that's an idea that can work. Onron. Onron's like actually like a decent Genji counter. Because I can't deflect it. As soon as I'm on fire, you just can't deflect it whatsoever. If I had a little bit more ammo there, their Onron would have been dead, but dude, as my brain rewires itself, those are some of the things that I end up missing. Which is okay. This is known, this is expected. I need to be kind to myself. Dragon Blade and Nano Blade in the big 26. I forgot it was a thing. I low-key had no idea I had Nana. I was not thinking about my team whatsoever. I would like a dash reset, please. Thank you. W discipline. I think I can perform on Genji today as long as I'm disciplined. I think that's the main thing. I just need to make sure that I'm actually giving myself proper time to line up shots and not int my brains out by trying to perma go for like cool insta one taps. This is not, I'm actually gonna actually I can do that now. I'm gonna change the stream titles. Since this is not ranked lessons anymore, I'm not gonna be like fully talking through my thought process, but it is yeah, this is kind of like how I go about improving myself. Actually I'll change it after the round or after the game, because I couldn't think of a new title. This is how I go about improving myself, so it's going to be a little bit slightly more negative than I am in ranked lessons, just because I'm just talking about myself, and I find it very possible or a lot easier for me to focus in on things that need to be fixed if I'm a little bit mean. Trying to farm for this custom tracer gun.
Came at great cost, but you asked to change.
You remember that comp points were capped at 6,000 during Overwatch 1? When was that changed? It was never changed. Well, it was changed when you got the red comp points, but the new red comp points end up being like the old like white comp points like later after the like year ends. I don't know if it's a year or a season or what is it. I was tempted to give their Doomfist punch because I'm so jolly in general. Wow. No, that guy kind of owns me, I can't even lie. But my Juno's healing me. Got my one. Got my one. I took that fight because my Juno was healing me, and I think that was actually a pretty good fight to take. Their Kiriko used their TP and Suzu. They didn't need to use their TP and Suzu. If they waited to use their Suzu, I probably would have died there, but I still had my dash to get out, so I think it's chill because I've got Kaiju Mega. I think that was a fine play, fine fight to commit to. Sojourn on the background. I wasn't slow, I wasn't disciplined, so I didn't get the kill on the Sojourner. That's like the main thing that I really want to focus on and make sure that I get right, is just give myself time to hit the shot, because It's really like satisfying, and it gives me a shit ton of dopamine anytime that I like dash in, holding like buffering my right click, holding it down during my dash, and then I'm able to just like take someone's head off. But it is not consistent to winning games. A Ramlo? I think I just want to chill. I can be spamming out their team though. Awesome thing about projectiles is you low-key like don't need to play the game always. You can just be holding M1 on a choke and so much value. Onrun's a little bit scary. I actually haven't played too much Genji into Onrun. I've just played a lot of Onrun into Genji since I have an Onrun one-trick account. I just kind of play on for fun because the hero is so much fun. Onrun's actually ridiculously fun. And OC, I could try to dash on that, but I just want to see if I can take some attention away. But since I don't have any of my CDs to really live in Nano OC looking at me, I'm just going to chill and let... But I think that I bought enough time for my Sojourn to get active, which will allow them to win that fight. I don't want to die, I don't want to die. Don't punch me, Doomfist, thank you. Oh! Widow swaps are so scary, bro. Oh, and Moira now? What the hell? Maybe I could have dashed out. No, I think I dashed up there, right? I mean, it's fine. I don't think that my position is too much of an issue, or the fights that I'm actually taking. I think that how I'm trying to find value is fine. I just really want to hone in on the micro, because I know the ideas that I'll come up with are generally going to be good. At least historically. Reflex DPS still. But the micro is what I really need to focus on, so it's just a technique of dashing, pausing, and then aiming. I don't know why. It's because I played so much Onrun. When they use their E, I thought that it like cleansed me of like the burn effect that's been built up on me. That was a kind of weird brain loop. Okay, so I emptied my brains out this game, but I killed a lot on attack, so that's okay. W Navilia. Doomfist cut. Team cut. We're the winner. Worst thing is that Onrun E doesn't even cleanse, it phases out. Yeah, yeah. So you can't even interact with them while they're in it. It's in a game against the Sombra and you hated how their ability cleansed my fire, but mine didn't cleanse their virus. Yeah, I get it. Sombra is a strange hero. Well played, you guys are really nasty. I say with 7. I say thank you with 7 deaths and get endorsed. I died quite a bit. I think it's fine though. What I want to focus on is winning. Wait, what happened? Oh wow. Alright. I do not remember queuing whatsoever. Well, I play this game quite a bit. Bang, W work, Navilia. Sleep playing. Oh, somebody asked if I slept good. I did sleep pretty good yesterday. Or last night. That was a very long time ago. It just popped back into my head. Yeah, Phantasma asked if I sleep well. Oh, there's an entire, like, section of chat I didn't read. I'm so sorry, guys. Spoff 40 seconds said, hello V, I'm usually a YouTube audience, but I'm passing by to say hi and thank you for the content and the good vibes you share. And then Phantasma asked if I sleep well. I did sleep pretty well. Okay, brief tangent, because this isn't like ranked lessons. Oh, wait, that's actually... Yeah, that's fine. Brief tangent. Oh, Send me the link, Celerity. Oh, thank you. You already did. W. Hold up. I have very, very weird sleep habits or patterns. I don't know. It's not exactly a habit, but I sleep on average about 4 hours a day. And if I sleep too much, I am incapable. I used to live with them. No, not Spotify. YouTube. There we go. Okay. Well, we want to focus on this game. Oh wait, I'll like and comment in a moment. I wanted to get through Tracer, Genji. I don't need to play Reaper. Reaper's Reaper. Tracer, Genji, Mei, Symmetra, Echo. On this map, Samoa. I think I can play some Symmetra. I think Symmetra is like probably my most comfortable DPS hero, because it just kind of fits with how I understand the game really well as it's just a brain-based hero. The utility that Symmetra provides with Teleporter is just so nice. And they're so versatile in a bunch of different areas. I always lean towards heroes that are like really good in a bunch of different spots. So with Symmetra, I want to make sure that I have intentional TPs probably. I think Symmetra is going to be the hero that I want to VOD later, so I'm just going to like chill. I could be looking to fight point. I think I will, especially as our Sojourn goes down. Echo, Kiri behind. I think I just spam while I kept point. I can fight that later. I'm a little bit nervous about my exit TP being on point. But with our Ana carrying me, I think we're fine. Oh, huge. 3, 2, 1. TP on the point, making it hard for their team to play the game. Kill their Wu Yang guy. I don't think I want to TP back the Reinhardt in range, but I can just clear this Echo. I think the two things that I can focus on for this game are just going to be my turrets, like just making sure I always have a turret up, or my turrets up, and my intentional TP usage. I see the Sojourn on this left side, so I think I can go fight that, help my hazard with it at least. Since if they get +1, the game gets really hard really fast. So Rhino, bye-bye. I have no idea what happened there. But I think +1 was the right answer, though our hazard was somehow fine despite the entire team kind of looking. Big orb, I turn my turret to make sure that they're chilling. I just TP back on this left side. I want to make sure that their Sojourn can't really take the space, I think. Especially as our Sojourn goes down. I can maybe TP this. It's a little bit scary because my return TP is just super far in open space. And I have a long way back before I get into cover, but I'll be okay. I think I just want to live. Get my turrets up, give me scouting on left. The scouting that turrets give you on Symmetra is so insane. I feel like majority of your value and your potential like making good decisions just comes from like decent turret placement. That's something I'll probably look at in the future. It's not necessary, or when I was grinding flex DPS before, it wasn't necessary for me to get up to champ to really focus on my turret placement, but I feel like there's a lot of potential value there. I know the Reinhardt's above me, so I want to be ready to TP out. There's a good TP on the point, though. I can probably just wall them, just cut off their entire team from doing everything that they want to do. I think I want to TP. I could TP in there. I think I will. It just gives them less options. Okay, I low-key have... I think in theory, there's some times where you want to pick the sentry or the extra turret charge. But I've never encountered a scenario, even with like 100-something games on Sim in a season, where I wanted it more than I'd want extra beam range, because You can hold down a point a lot better, sure, with an extra turret, but no, so close. I just need to put it down earlier. I was scared of putting my TP down in a place that wouldn't be that beneficial, but I just need to escape. I just need to live any way that I could, and I'd get value later. It's rather crazy how short teleporter's cooldown is. Being able to just traverse 2 points on the map, like, instantly, like, and you can replace it every 12 seconds is like, kind of absurd. Symmetra, I think, is just one of the best heroes to just mega carry, like, almost any ranked game. They're crazy diverse, or flexible with what value they can be getting. That was a bad TP. I think the better TP would have been going bottom left area, so I will wait like 5 seconds until I can put that one down. With them breaking it, I think I actually want to commit to this fight a bit. With the Reinhardt behind me though, we're gonna go down. Maybe it would have been better for me to sit on my teleporter. But I didn't really want to deal with that Sojourn shooting. And I still wanted presence on the point. So I think misplay by me. But as long as I'm thinking about my TPs, and when they go wrong and when they go right, I'll be honing in on the right ones to do more frequently. That's the process of derusting, baby. Now I can just beam on the point and win the game. What up, Mees? Scream clips are from last weekish. Oh! Here's my main character. You choose a minor perk depending on the other team, but having 4 turrets, I assassinate their backline with TP bombs. That makes sense. That makes sense. I still haven't explored too many, or like the value of that TP bombs can bring. I know that sometimes they can just literally snap like backline's neck, and it's so strong. I just legit haven't like explored it much, but there's so much that you can do with Symmetra and so many ideas in every single game that you can try out. I think that the depth of this hero is really fucking cool, and I'm excited if I do get picked up, or if we decide that we want me on DPS. I'm excited since I will be leaning into Symmetra quite a good bit. For context, I'll just babble about my team for a little bit. I go left side. I just want to chill main, I think. My team is... Our season ended a little bit ago. And we are like, some members are looking for like different opportunities, and others are staying. So we're just kind of in like a bit of a roster shift right now. I'm capable of playing like any of the different roles to the level we would need. But with our flex DPS spot being open, I said, like, guys, I won't lie, I would be so insanely motivated to like turbo grind if I was able to play deep or flex DPS, because I really love playing flex DPS. I really love Tracer and Symmetra and Mei and Echo. I just like the role. I just like the game. It's not that I don't enjoy tank, and I like, if we aren't able to find like a good tank player, then it'll just still be me on tank. But what's it called? I think it would be absolutely ideal, or I feel like I also just could make a lot more content on flex CPS, because I actually have a lot more sort of like nuanced and micro things to learn, rather than tank. I've been in that rodeo for, I've been in the tank rodeo for like 7 years now. Well, I've been able to play every role throughout that time, in a high competitive level, but I think flex CPS would be really fun, because I just like grinding mechanics. I just like aiming and having a bit of agency over the game. Oh, my turrets. That's why this game probably feels so difficult. I'm just not placing turrets ever. I love getting my pylon perk, and now I just become like actually immortal anywhere I want to go. Yeah, somebody got touched. I am so annoying, but that let our entire team just get back into the fight. I mean, without hit scan damage, it's so hard to actually confirm kills on an objective because you are able to sustain so much easier. We'll lose that point. I think I can be a little bit more intentional about my TP and my turret placements. I think that I could have been playing through the left lane a lot more, considering their comp. As long as the Reinhardt wouldn't walk in that sort of left mega room, there would be kind of no one who could win a 1v1 against me. But since I was leaning more towards the middle and the right side, it was way, way worse. So for this point, I'm just going to be leading. I'm going to be just trying to lock down the left side maybe, or sit on main. I think just stack main and shoot the tank, and then anytime their Sojourn wants to take an angle or something, I'll just TP onto them. Sorry if you already asked, but for the major perk, I do wonder why you don't pick the shield perk, since I thought that I could have a lot of I've personally found I still need to experiment a good bit with the shield perk. The pylon perk feels like, from my experience, it gives me a ton of agency on how I can be taking fights, and it requires a lot less resources for me to find value from my team. So I'm a lot less team dependent, and I can do a lot more over time. Our Reinhardt got a kill, goddamn. I think I just TP on that back high ground, especially as the Rein comes forward. I just shoot him. He breaks my TP, but I think that's fine. As long as I don't die here. Yeah. No, I died too fast. I want to get a touch and put my TP down to sort of like ping pong between the two corners, which would make it very hard for them to look at me for a long period of time, but that's okay. I do really want to make a video talking about movement and crosshair positioning, because the two concepts are intertwined, and it's really, really cool, and I love babbling about it. It's actually my favorite micro topic to talk about in the game. That might be a Future Theory Thursday. That definitely will be a Future Theory Thursday. I need to upload the one that I have the script written for. Kitsune rushed on right side. I just can take this left and just sort of beam them down. I think maybe pressure point and then have a TP to get out. That seems good. Reinhardt into point. They break my TP. We walk the point. Kitsune rush from their team. High noon from our team. I think take left side. Poke their backline. They broke my TP. Big shatter. Oh, huge shatter. Oh, but Jill, no. You can see how it's less valuable when flanking. You see, when you play Sim, you mostly stack on your team. It's good for blocking D.Va Fair. Yeah, I agree. If you're playing to stack on your team a lot, I think that it's a very, very powerful ult. I know, when I was just like, I watched just various YouTube videos to just kind of like fall asleep to sometimes, or like other Overwatch content videos to see what people are doing, what ideas are already being like made into videos, or topics that are being covered and how they talk about them. There was this Symmetra YouTuber, I think Stevo is the name. And they talk a little bit about shield perk in one of their videos, and I enjoyed that video. I feel like I walked away learning something. Because I don't specialize in... Like, the only heroes that I can, like, talk about a disgusting amount is... Wrecking Ball, Reinhardt, Kiriko. Please, 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 please. I want that kill. I want that kill. W. Damn. Bro, this hero is so much fun. This hero, like, what I just did that fight? This hero is too fun, too fun. I think I can be TP bombing more. I think TP bomb in... Yeah, TP bomb in more stacked front-to-back fights would make a lot of sense if they got value. I don't have my TP yet. Our Reinhardt needs a lot of healing. I just want to chill. No, the carry! Oh, that's okay. We have one more fight. Maybe who are your favorite characters to play out of curiosity? You don't know if you ever talked about them. My favorite heroes to play. It's like tank, it's Reinhardt, Wrecking Ball, Junker Queen if I have hands. Only if I have hands. Oh, that's not good. W kills. Not W. Oh. No, no, so close, it's so close. If I got that TP down, we win the game. If I got that TP down, we win the game. Oh, I wanted to win that so bad. Oh well. I definitely made a lot of mistakes. There's not too much value that I was able to actually get there. Thanks, I play Hazard Queen Zarya right now. Trying to learn Reinhardt is so much fun. Yeah. Actually make me enjoy the game of while playing. Thanks for the content. Awesome. I'm glad. Symmetra is so sick. Symmetra is so awesome. They're low-key one of my favorite heroes whenever I'm like super grinding them. But my favorite heroes to play in the game, Wrecking Ball, Reinhardt are the big two on tank, I think. Oh, Winston, the big three, the big three. I like Wrecking Ball, Reinhardt, and Winston. Junker Queen if I have hands. For DPS, Tracer, Widowmaker. Widowmaker if I have hands. Actually, just if I have a warm-up period, because I know how to get hands on Widow. It just takes like a game or two to wake up. Tracer, Genji, Symmetra, Widowmaker, and Cassidy are my favorite to play on DPS. I really like Cass. I just like aiming. I really just like aiming. So being able to turn my brain off, walk around the map like I'm playing Silent Hill through the fog, and I just like shoot things that pop up in front of me is really fun. That's what I like doing on Cass. Lucio's low-key the most fun hero in the game. The high-key the most fun hero in the game. I really like playing Lucio, Ana, Illari, and Juno. I think for support are my favorite ones to play. No Ashe? I actually dislike Ashe a bit. Like, their gun is fine, their abilities are fun, but I just hate the reload. I do not want to think about my, like, managing my clip. It's really not too fun to me. And since it's, like, so integral to, like, her gameplay, it's a little bit hard to really enjoy Ashe. Most of the time when I'm playing Ashe, it's like for a reason, or I need to play like a little bit longer range and with more consistent damage. But otherwise, most of the time I just lean into Cassidy because it just fits in my brain a little bit more. Love Widow, but you're not confident enough to try her again since you don't have very good aim. Why didn't I queue up? Am I stupid? Literally doesn't want to play DPS after that game. It'd be cool to see some Widow. Yeah, I love Widow. I'd love talking about Widow. I might make an entire video about Widowmaker somewhere in the near future. It's hello in Eevee's voice. Yeah. Oh, I need to check actually if my editor has the intro audio for today.
Select your hero.
How the fuck did they ping everyone? Oh, there it is. Okay. I was just checking my I'm just checking my Discord.
Choose heroes to ban.
All right, now back to the game, back to playing the game. Now I'm reading chat, not my Discord. I know you've had a vid where you touched on some aim with Cassie, but really in-depth aim / Widow video would be so cool. Yeah, I would love that. I would love doing that. That would make that'd be low-key one of my favorite videos to make, I think. Cause aiming is so cool. It's so sick. Like the actual mechanics behind aiming and how you can get advantages in duels and 1v1s is so sick. Are you champion and tank? Yes, I am. Tank is my highest role, I think, right now. I have a champion 3 support account. I have a champion 3 tank account, and I have this champ 5 DPS account and a champ 4 DPS account. Is Widow player rule at the higher ranks? Yep. Oh, I was about to say let me show you, but Sela already has that unlocked. Okay, heroes I need to practice. I need to practice Echo, I need to practice Tracer, Genji, Symmetra, and Mei. Echo is a viable hero here. Cart is going to be a little bit hard to push, but if our Kiriko is the GOAT, then it wouldn't be that bad. Kiriko is also really, really good at just pushing the cart high key because they have the mobility. It's the same fundamentals as Tracer. You have, like, a lot of 1v1 potential, you have mobility, you have self-survivability. With their Tracer, that's going to be the primary threat for this game as Echo. So I think I'm just going to be trying to chunk their Winston as much as I can. Their team is rather hard to play Echo into, but I think as long as we're just like farming the damage that we can, we somewhat chill. Echo does so much burst. This is a really greedy play. This is an insanely greedy play. Alright, but we're good. I took the Mega because I'm big and greedy. Tracer low. Winston wants me dead. I think I just chill. I can maybe be trying to int a little bit more since this choke is going to be the hardest part for us. Once our Widow gets set up, hopefully, if they're hitting their shots. I am the worst! I am the worst! Nah, that whiff, that whiff. I might have lost my hands. Hey, Hoax? Yo, welcome in. Thank you for the follow, bro. Echo gameplay? Yep, I'm brushing up on my Echo right now. I have a tryout for a team on Flex CPS later today. So I'm just going through and kind of derusting some of the important heroes that I'd want to sort of show in that tryout. I think I just want to wait for my perk, low-key. Am I getting angry? Nope. I am super calm, actually. There will be no primal rage today. I fuck with the Cassidy. Maybe we can, maybe like, if our team goes under, maybe I can just put, like, pressure the high ground while they play under. Maybe it's this Winston as well. I have my dupe, so I can be playing fairly aggressively. I really want to dupe their Winston, because my primal will be good. I know they have their primal as well. I'm just going to be playing to get some value out of this Ray for now. Nice. No, it was under. I had the gamble wrong. I heard the Ashe on the right side somewhere. No. Navilia, why the Winston? I thought you were juggling the Ashe. Okay, I'll solve Tracer. It's going to be making the game a little bit easier here. It might be a little bit, it might be too little too late. I was really hoping that we could cap off of that dupe play, but alas. Damn! I really was not expecting to just get one tap there. After I got the mini, I was thinking that there would be no way that they could. I guess I just completely forgot about the damage that Coach Gun can do. Oh, and we just lose because of that. Really good play from their Ashe. I thought that there was not a threat of me just getting exploded. Thought they couldn't do enough damage in time. Your friend recommended your channel not long ago, but your videos have helped you a lot. Awesome! I'm glad they've helped. That's super sick. It's actually my favorite thing, like, being able to scroll through, like, comments and see, like, people, like, sharing, like, their, like, rank ups or, that they've been on, like, a huge winning streak or something. That makes me, like, genuinely so happy. Really sucks that we weren't able to, like, cap that first point, but it is Gibraltar first, so it's also very easy to hold. I think if I go Tracer, the game is much easier. Echo is not in the greatest spot right now because Tracer can just generally do a little bit more in most scenarios, but the damage that Echo can do is kind of insane. But you just need to be in a good spot to do the damage, which I never really was able to get into a decent position because their Ashe had really good sight lines for the most part, and if their Tracer, if I tried to path through low ground, their Tracer would be able to fight the favorable 1v1 for them. Their Winston bubble kind of negated a lot of the potential cleanup that we could have had with our beam. Very okay. It's funny you've been lurking in the stream today because you found my soldier video this morning. You really enjoyed the thoughtful commentary. That's awesome. I hope you enjoyed. Sorry I'm not commentating like too much about my thought process exactly throughout these games. This is just me trying to brush up on my flex DPS and improve. So I'm just getting a baseline for myself right now of my general performance on each heroes. I'm going to probably be doing a quick little self-VOD soon. And then trying to fix any of the mistakes that I see, though I think I generally know where I'm going wrong. Wow. Actually, insane sleep. Oh, their team got hands. I mean, that's the thing about DPS and Tracer especially, I think, is like there are so many, like, you can be making like a generally like a solid or a good play, but everything just comes down to like micro in the end, where if you just get one tapped randomly frequently, like the world, like it's just so difficult. Mechanics and movement and everything are just so important. This guy is a Tracer player. hear the Widow top. I cannot do anything about that, so I just go to cart. I know the Tracer's right side. I think I'll commit to this because I think our team's in a pretty bad spot. Maybe I can kite? Yeah, W peel from my ability. What? That's not good. That is a Tracer player. Tracer 1v1s are like, when I first role swapped to Flex DPS, they were like the first thing that I like super studied. As well as I used to play, my best friend for many years, this was just like a really, really good mechanical Tracer player. And so anytime that we would queue, he would just put us in Tracer 1v1s or TXCXX, and their mechanics were just way better than me, so I had to figure out to make sure that I wasn't just getting dumpstered every time we like would queue together while we were waiting for our games. How to win the 1v1s with worse mechanics. So I just studied a lot of blink usage. I studied how to blink, movement theory. Hold that. My mechanics are not feeling too crazy snazzy right now, but hopefully that's okay. I mean, we're holding. I mean, it's just Gibraltar second. I think Blink Distance perk isn't going to be too helpful, especially now that they're not on Widow. If they're still on Widow, I might go Blink Distance. But the melee might just be a little bit more helpful for us. I can maybe chase that. I hear them right side. I know they have pulse. That's not good. Control this. Primal. Rush. Get to use. Break bubble. I think I just chill. There's not much I can do, and we have time to let cart push. So I'll just live. Hopefully our Nev can live. I can't take vision aggro because they have rush up. Tracer echo on cart. I need to get first. I really want that dude gone before they can primal. Yeah. Unlucky. It really sucks that our Kiri got caught when they used their ultimates. But yeah, it definitely happens. I inted first. I inted our attack really hard. As well as that sleep that the Ana hit on me. If I was able to prevent that or dodge, we would have been in a much better spot. I could have absolutely won that game. But I'm not too stressed about it. I'm playing for improvement. I'm confident that even if I drop out a champ, I will be able to get it back. If I just focus on winning. But for now, I'm getting a baseline of what I need to be looking to focus on. My Echo felt pretty okay. The mechanics need a little bit of work. I think it's mainly mechanics and my beam usage that I'd want to focus on for Echo. Main thing that's sticking out to me right now is my Symmetra. I think that my turret usage wasn't the greatest, as well as I think that my teleports and general ideas, like general macro ideas of what I want to play for as Symmetra, weren't the greatest in the game that we forced Symmetra. So Genji, I still need to clean up on my discipline or like my shot timing a little bit. I need to make sure that I'm waiting before I shoot after a dash. Tracer, they're kind of just fine. I want to aim better and I need to hit more sticks, but for the most part, I'm not too worried. Echo, I need to focus on my mechanics. I can clean that up and my beam usage. Symmetra, general macro ideas. And we have not touched on Mei yet. Mei is the hero that we still need to be looking to get a decent baseline of. Have you been watching your videos for a while? They've been a big help. When is it fair to blame your teammates? No, who voted this map? let's be for real. Who voted this map? What was my opinion of awkward videos? I will go on a tangent if I talk about awkward videos, so I will not start that. Apologies. Blaming your teammates can be decent way to keep your mental in check for longer queue sessions. Because sometimes you're going to be accomplishing your goal and you're still going to be losing. So while you're finding improvement or you're like learning and doing what you set out to do, blaming your teammates can be a good way to sort of take the pain of the loss away. But for the most part, it's generally not like crazy. The word fair kind of has me caught up. It's almost never productive to blame your teammates, but it's also not like some games, if you feel like you are doing everything that you set out to do in that game, like that'd be a fair time to sort of look at your teammates, I think. Should I, low key? What if I whipped out the Widow in my scrim today? Because I have a demonic Widow. Or at least I did. This was like it was just like Tracer Widow were by far like my two best CPS. I think it wouldn't be bad. I know that it's primarily played by the like hit scan DPS, and that's not going to be the role that I'm leaning into for my team. But I mean, it's nice to be able to just whip out a Widow sometimes. I'm catching up in Twitch chat right now. Wish there were more videos about Echo. Dive into her movement a bit more. Enjoy Echo a lot more. Yeah, that makes sense. Alright, I'll catch up soon. I'm gonna be terrible for like a fight or two, and then I'm gonna be actually hitting shots, because that's usually how my Widow goes. I just need to like wake up my eyes to like seeing the head, if that makes sense. Because as soon as I can see the head, my hand is usually decent at sort of taking my cursor there. But it's like an eyeball thing for me. At least on Widow, and just generally hit scans. So I'm just gonna super focus on like making sure I'm actually seeing the head. What can hurt you? I haven't seen Domina played in a while. I see bottom left. I'm gonna lean right side. Even if the Domina's around here, I think that's going to be okay. Oh, they're coming in that way now. Wait, actually the best sights ever. High key the best sights ever. I think I can go up here. They're curious who wants to fight me though. I don't want to fight their Curie. That is not a mutual fight. That's okay. We got a decent bit of damage, and I started to hit some headshots on the Lucio and Domina towards the end, so I'm seeing the heads a little bit more. I just wasn't able to get like fully charged shots off before they got into a really good position. Widowmaker is such an interesting hero because it's just, I mean, it sounds really forehead, but it's just like fully reliant on your mechanics, on what value you can get. There's very little like... Widow is one of the least logical heroes in the game because mechanics are a bit of the RNG element of Overwatch. If you can hit your shots on Widow, You can be in a lot of very aggressive positions, but you need to hit your shot, you know? Like if y'all ever seen that Pine clip, I'm a fan of this. Oh, no one's around. I don't have Venom Mine to fight their Sombra if they TP up here. Yeah, the Junkertown second point. Yeah, you can go for like some insane plays on Widow, and if you hit the shot, then you just generate infinite value. But I mean, there's like, it's the only logic to like you can break down duels. Like it's primarily like the concepts that Widowmaker needs is understanding what space is open on the map, as well as who is looking where from the enemy team. Those are the two, and they're pretty intertwined concepts. I think I'll pop sights on their walk up here. This doorway becomes hell now that I can see them. But once you have those two concepts, the best Widowmakers that I've seen are just so creative. They're just so fucking creative, and they're so talented with their aim. I know that Lucio wants me dead. They want that like Frogger OW style clip on me. Oh, Sombra Jax. Oh, that was good. I like that. I don't have my clipping software on though. 3, 2, 1. Close. Close. Their Curious not going to peek that. I should probably be leaning back, right? Loki, what if I just rando spam? I don't think I want to be on top of my Ana. They don't have their EMP, but... I don't exactly want to be stacked still. I think they have their beat, maybe? Oh, just killed that dominant? Nice. We should just win now. Nice. My team is fragging. Was Tracer ever not meta aside from goats? Yeah, Tracer was not... Anytime that there's like an absurd amount of numbers in the game, or sustain. The thing about dive or mobility as a value source is that if there's too much raw sustain in the game, then mobility becomes a lot less important, because it doesn't matter if you take all of the angles around them or around like the enemy team if they just live forever, you know? That's why Goats was so dominant, is because, and you could barely play anything else, is because there's just so much sustain in Goats. The health pools were so massive. It doesn't matter if you had the entire rest of the map. If they just sat on the point, you couldn't shoot them out. You couldn't do anything about it. So Tracer is meta in, or not meta, in times where there's too much actual sustain and raw HP in the game to be effective whatsoever. So if Brig is ever overtuned, you can expect Tracer to be a lot weaker in the meta. Thank you for the follow, Lavender Jack. Double shield meta, fun times. Yeah, yeah, Tracer wasn't dominant in some metas of double shield. Tracer isn't dominant in Mauga metas usually. Sometimes Ramatra metas, Reinhardt ones, where you just want to play make cast. It's just Brawl. If Brawl heroes are a little bit too powerful, then Tracer usually will not be meta. Though, there is one exception to this. of if Wrecking Ball is very good, then Tracer can become viable even if Brawl's tanks are very, very strong, because Wrecking Ball's primary like stick and the value that they can generate, and why Wrecking Ball is so prevalent in a lot of pro play across seasons, is because the disruption that Wrecking Ball is able to provide will make it much harder for teams to sustain naturally. If you hit a good roll through or a good slam on Wrecking Ball and make it so that they're forced to look at you and just constantly slowly bleeding out their resources through continuous sort of like disruption, you will enable other people, or you will effectively take away the sustain of the Brawl comps to allow other dive or mobility based heroes to find their value, because they don't have to play into as much sustain with Wrecking Ball being able to take away a lot of it. Similar thing goes for Ana. Ana is very prevalent in a lot of dive based. I'm gonna swap off Widow. I was just kind of autopiloting. I've been autopiloting this whole game, low-key. But I think I'll go Genji. I do not want to play Tracer into that. That's actually the worst comp ever, I think, to play Tracer into. Don't think I want to dash that, so I'm just gonna chill. I got my value. Very close. We force a Dominant Shield. I just chill burger. I'm gonna dash to our pylon. Oh, huge. What the hell is... Nice. No, I wasn't disciplined again. Torva split on the right side. I think I just dash up here with my bow. Wow! I hit every shot there. I'm sorry, I'll turn my aimbot off. Oh! Insane play from their Domina. That was sick. Oh, my fault. That guy, I guess that guy can see into the future. They just kind of used ult on point. I guess we EMP'd early. It just really sucks, so we don't have a good way to open this fight. I get a Cassian left. I know they want to like one-tap me by swinging the corner and surprising me, but I don't really want to get one-tap by getting surprised. So I'm going to be respecting that and playing safer. Maybe I can help our Sombra a bit here. I don't think that playing through main really felt bad, and they have a lot of resources to sort of negate angles, so maybe I'll just go back main. That was not the perk I wanted! Oh, I thought I had the craziest sequence of events ever. I thought I was about to get the healing on my blade perk, like, in between my slashes, so I could continue slashing and keep myself alive, but... Oh well. This is why we queue. Small things like that, even if the idea is good. I hate this map. That's hiking my fault for not swapping up Widow sooner. And I could have won that fight with my Dragon Blade. But, yeah. Winston is not the greatest. Oh well, all good. Definitely happens. Dropping a GM1, but that's okay. I'm focusing on my improvement. What I play there? My Widow, it was kind of fine. I mean, there's not much, like, I was in fine spots. I was taking fine swings. I just need to hit the shots. On attack, it's a little bit harder. Maybe I can play a little bit more aggressively. That is something that I need to keep in mind actively. It's a very big issue for any of my hit scan heroes, is I play a little bit too passively on hit scan, and I don't trust in my mechanics and just go for some, like, big plays, which I definitely need to at sometimes. Acceptance makes keeping your cool focus significantly easier, but isn't necessarily easy. You guys are somewhere true. Grandma's in the chat. Welcome, Grandma. Venomine value. Okay, Loki, I mean, Venomine, it's kind of slept on. I won't lie, it's slept on, because information is like everything. Oh, is Celerity still in the chat? If so, I'll put your clip dump back on. Why am I... Oh, that's why. Okay, makes sense. Let me make sure there's nothing said in my mod chat. Nope, all good. I think, okay, I'd really like to get a May game in and then maybe take a look at some codes. Though I think generally, like, I know what I need to work on. I don't think we need to look at the replay codes. What were the mechanical heroes that I needed to sort out? Genji, Echo, were the mechanical focuses. I think that Tracer is very important. Symmetra is very important. It's just Tracer and Symmetra I think I need to really, really get right. So I'll try to maybe lean into one of those here. Maybe May, actually. I think May could be pretty good here. May was one of my more favorite flex CPSs when I was grinding. Let's change up the vibe a little bit. There we go. I don't know how YouTube queue system works. I find it somewhat annoying sometimes because I try to add a song to the queue and it like always like it always puts it at the bottom of the queue instead of the top. Makes me a little sad. I know that's how most queues work, but anytime like I want to drag it up, it's just so like the actual UI makes it fairly difficult. Look at May World. I actually love. Okay, May is high key like one of my favorite like design wise heroes, like and like character wise. I really like May, and I really like Venture, and I really like Juno, and I really like what's her name, Ramatra. Unfortunately, I really don't like playing Ramatra, and I really don't like playing Venture. Well, I don't like Venture's kit, but I think that their like actual character design is so sick, and I also really like May. And their backstory I thought was really cool. With May, I think that I just want to be like making their diva's life miserable. And Tracer. It's just their diva and Tracer's life miserable because I just have crazy favorable exchanges into both of them. With May, I think we just want to poke up and then back. Yeah, they swap, yeah. Oh, it's future again. That's a Torbjorn. I can see into the future. Oh, goodbye, Brayden. I love projectile-based heroes because I can just go gambling. Will the Tracer walk into my icicle? Who knows? Like if I'm feeling lucky. Bang! Look at that! Let's go gambling! Wow, wow. I'd like to... Oh, whoopsies. Alright, wall mechanics. Mechanical failure on ice wall 1. Hope there isn't more. Why is it gotta be all the way over there? I don't want to be over there. Blizzard usages were a little bit of a struggle point when I was like CPS before. I don't think I can win this. And then the perks. Okay, these perks have changed quite a bit since I last super grinded her. Skating rink alt perk I'm usually not that fond of. Glacial propulsion is what sort of speaks to me, but 25 movement speed and 50 health per second is fairly significant. It can make Blizzard a lot more sustained. I'll try it. Hello, Brayden. I think. Let's go gambling! Nvidia. I low-key baited the fuck out of Nev. I got baited by the enemy team. I thought they were going main for sure. I really wish I could stream my tryout scrim. Yeah, we're just against... Like, I was actually pretty sure that we would be able to stream it because we're scrimming the World Cup team that Hydron's on, and they usually stream. And they've always been fine with me streaming in the past. Or other members of my team streaming in the past. But since it's, like, super understandably, since it's their last day, but... Oh! That's not good. Oh, W Nev. Where would they touch from? Something, I don't know what was telling me they would touch from that high ground. Okay, I think Mei is still broken and ranked. I feel like perk. I agree. You don't mind perks, but you missed the game before perks. I super agree. I have a few gripes about perks. I think that they push the game into a direction that is not that healthy long term. I understand wanting to add like a little bit of like MOBA based aspects or a little bit more because in Overwatch 2's history it's been leaning a little bit more into the FPS side of things for maybe a bit too much. But how perks are actually like implemented I feel like has quite a bit of issues. Into their comp, Reaper, yeah, I think I just want to freeze people. Especially the Reaper. Like if I have the threat of freeze and they're not able to just like face tank my M1, they're gonna have a much harder time, I think. It might be one of those instances with the major perk from May where you just like want to pick it just to have the option. Like the opportunity cost of being able to freeze people just might be a little bit too much. Let's go gambling. I'll just walk at this guy. Why am I waiting? Are we good on point? Yeah, maybe. Oh, the shield perk. Yeah, that's actually really good in the mirror. Why hasn't Nev picked a... I'm curious about that. I actually really like Nabilia's insights on perks and their experimentation. I feel like yields very good results. They opened my eyes to the double nade perk on Ana in some matchups, and where the double nade perk could be really good. Yeah, alright, let's just win the game now. It's Blizzard time. Oh, awesome. It like popped in my head as soon as like I thought the Reaper could be coming back soon. The double nade perk, I think could be really, or it's really good in a few instances. I almost always pick the headshot perk on Ana, but there are a lot of instances or times on Ana where you just like can't shoot that much. The enemy team is just putting too many resources into you or spamming you out way too much for you to be able to get any value out of your headshot perk. While if you do hit the shot, you're going to be able to force out those threats much more consistently. It's very demanding in a lot of situations. So what the double nade perk allows you to do is have more sustain, as well as be able to force things out through your cooldowns a lot more than rather just your M1s. And I think that's really cool. I'll still, for the most part, pick the headshot perk on Ana, but there is merit to the double nade, which is often overlooked. And I also overlooked it, but Nivelia's experimentation showed that double nade can lead to a lot of value. Here gets a lot better balls. I thought our May was solid. Our walls could be a little bit better. GG's. Were you playing in that last game, River? Oh yeah, you are Kiri. Yeah, good shit. That was an easy game. W heals. How about another Kiriko skin? Kiriko skin, I would like another Kiriko skin. I do really like Kiriko. I think I've just burnt out of them a little bit recently. Ended up playing Kiriko for quite a while. To the point where they're just a little bit... got a little bit too much for me. Tracer's really important to get really right. Symmetra's really important to get really right. I have scrim in 45 minutes or 40 minutes, yeah. I forget my clock is a few minutes behind. Yeah. Am I smurfing at your dream rank? Sorry. Sorry, I'm just trying to prep. I mean, genuinely, this is around, like, my DPS SR. I fluctuate between, like, Champ 4 and, like, GM2 on DPS. Depending primarily on the heroes that I'm playing. My Tracer, Symmetra, Mei, and generally like my flex CPSs can get up to champ 4 pretty consistently, but my hit scans can just kind of like barely get up to champ. At least right now. I think if I put some real time into them, I can change that. W fight? I do think for the most part the ideas that we've been playing for in Tracer have been pretty good, so not gonna put too much thought into them. Damn, that's a really unfortunate time for that Mega to respawn. Yeah, I just want to chill. Shoot out point all that I can. Maybe I could be making sure that my tension management could be something to focus on Tracer. Tension management is one of the most important aspects, if not the most important aspect of tracking effectively. If you're too tense, then it's really, really hard to control your mouse, but you need some tension to move your mouse. And what I mean by tension is your hand, like how much you're tensing your hand. So that might be what I focus on for this game, because I get into decent spots to shoot my gun, but I don't think that my actual accuracy is all that amazing. Well, my accuracy, the number doesn't matter on Tracer. But I think that my aim could be a little bit better. As Cassie wants me dead, so I'm just going to be like kind of poking them a little bit. W kill. Oh. Alarm off, please. Let me back in. So really, I think if my alarm didn't go off, we could probably win that fight. Oh well. Into Kiriko Cast, I think melee perk is actually maybe just better. I've been experimenting with it a little bit. I still think in theory the blink distance perk is just better. But the melee perk does make getting value off on hits like much easier. That was a really good start to the fight by that Tracer. Nice shot by their cast. I was really trying to greed my recall there because I was like a few milliseconds off my blink coming back. And if I got my blink back, then I just could have stabilized in the mini area. Maybe that's something that has been kind of a common issue. It's just I haven't been able to get my recalls off sometimes. Okay. Let me win this. I think maybe I'm a little bit too lax. Let's start getting hard on myself again. You can probably say you're seeing improvement every day. That's lovely. I know that this chat is a while ago. Overwatch's been the only game that rewarded me this much for putting in work. That's so awesome. I'm super happy for you, bro. I TP my team out, and then I go back to Tracer, and then I will be a lot more deliberate about the plays that I make. Oh, I'm sorry, Brayden. Oh, we have Brayden in this game. I'm really scared of the cast flash, so I'm gonna be trying to just use my recall a little bit more. Honestly, I think it'll allow me to be a little bit riskier on some of my plays. I can be less greedy with my blinks. Or my recall, like there, I could have recalled. It would have been fine. Actually, I think that one's pretty fair. To try to look for a blink. That's just had a really good jump. With their team. God damn, they hate me. They just shoot the fuck out of me. They kill me fast. It is because of my approach angle, at least in that one. Because they just barely have to move their crosshair, the time to kill is like way shorter than it could be. But I didn't. That's why I like the bigger blink distance perk. Because bigger blink distance means that the enemy has to adjust their crosshair far further, which ultimately increases your uptime. And general survivability in a micro sense and in a macro sense. Into their comp, low-key I kind of want to just be moving. I think that maybe the overhealth perk is optimal. I've just been struggling to get into decent spots to engage from. So I'm just going to be picking the health pack perk. With our comp and what we want to do, I think I just go right side to mark the tracer. I cannot mark the high ground, but I can break the bubble. Okay, I really get it. Okay, when I'm I used to play, or I played with like a bunch of Tracer players. Because we would play like Winston Tracer. Winston's one of my favorite tanks to play on teams. They would always complain that like we would pick like the same target, like they would look for a pulse on it and I would look for a primal on it. Neither is bad. I'm the greediest bitch in the world. It's okay because I did not catch our Winston's wave even. Oh well. In my scrim, I should just go what wins. Maybe a Genji would be fun here. I think since I'm struggling on Tracer, probably because I need a little bit more food in my system before returning to Tracer. Why are we saving Rush like it's a family heirloom? That's been they were using a bunch of ults, so I figured that would be like the best time ever to rush. But now, now we can't really do much. Nice touch, Nav. I think I can dash, maybe get my second dash back from the rush. No. Oh well. I'm gonna play one more, and then I'm gonna take a quick. I'm gonna end after one more, so I can get some food in me before my tryout. Now, that was not the greatest game, and we're definitely seeing a decline in our performance, but that's okay, because I do believe that maybe my body has just run out of food a little bit, or maybe I've just been playing a bit too long. The funniest thing about DPS, and Flex DPS especially, is their Loki is just a win hero. You can just swap to Reaper and the game becomes infinitely easier in like anything that you're trying to do right now. Yeah, the alarm actually kind of did lose me the game. But it well. It happens. I'd really like to swag out on Genji today. My Genji was what felt by far the best. So maybe that's why I show off today. Maybe I could get a couple of Hydron clips on Genji. I think Hydron plays hit scan for the team that we scrim. Yeah, my Genji feels good today. My Genji feels really good today. Especially when I'm just giving myself a little bit of time to aim. I think that's probably the hero that we want to lean into. I'd like a little bit of a longer game, but I don't want to play Ivana. Well, 2-2-2. I hope it's not Ivana. Calcio's fine. That is a-okay for our last game.
Select your hero.
I will be I'll be recording the scrim that I play, so y'all can see if I still have the same mistakes going into it or
Select hero.
during that scrim. But I think for the most part, even if it's been a little bit sort of like looser or loosey-goosey, just getting the raw hours on the heroes to dust them off is important. Just noticing like my big common mistakes and just at least having them in mind as I go into scrim is going to be really, really helpful, especially on Symmetra. Ivy, how are you doing today? I'm doing pretty good. Hope you're having a great day. Queues went fairly well today. I think we're a little bit negative, but that's okay. That is very, very okay. Because I'm playing for improvement right now. So I want to make sure, because my Genji is what felt by far the best. That's crazy. My Widowmaker is the highest level on this guy. I guess that makes sense, yeah, because this was the account I originally like grinded on, so it's just Tracer Widow. Brayden's the enemy tank or free game. Brayden's actually a tank player. So the past 2 games when they were on support, they were off-rolling. Tank is definitely Brayden's main role. It's meant to help your character in a pinch if your hard counter is flying around and you didn't want to swap. Give you an option to fight back sort of thing, but yeah, Silver Bullet good for Pharah. Yeah, but then you have perks like Wrecking Ball's like Major as a bubble, which literally like takes away all of their like the counters. So Wrecking Ball's Power Spike with the Major perk is just like absurd. Oh, I just wanted like 1 or 2 more bullets into that Orisa. Oh, I'm gonna get a little greedy, I think. Just a little greedy. Alright, I'm no longer greedy. I hear the cat's walking high ground. Damn! Both of those fan shots hit? I guess they were closer than I thought. No, this is off topic, but you're excited about Sombra rework later this year? Ooh, I actually forgot about that completely. Yeah, that is exciting. I think Sombra is very due for a rework. Oh, if I play well, Genji will blow up their comp. Damn. I mean, it's just a damage boosted Cassidy. I should just pay them more respect, I suppose. They say anything about the rework or just that it's gonna happen? I think just that it's gonna happen. I don't know if they gave us any sort of details about the direction they'd want to push Sombra. But she is definitely due for a rework. It's hard for, at least in 5v5, her utility is very hard to consistently get value with. Utility in general in 5v5 is just a little bit harder. I'm not slowed. I'm not slow enough. At this point, change your role. Sombra to support. Like how Symmetra was. I don't really want to blade this. Oh my... I just blow up? I mean, I guess with the Mercy damage boost and the Juno Ray, there's just a lot of damage on the field there. As well as I'm just not reacting nearly as fast as I need to. But considering the trend line of just slowly my reactions and my aim and whatnot has just been getting worse over time, I can conclude it's very likely a food issue. Where'd the Mercy go? There she is. Should be me on cart? Yeah, I should. Juno wants on it. Who am I to complain? Fashion won't use. I don't want to touch the point anymore. Oh my god, I had an entire sequence where I gave myself time to aim and I hit the shot! Oh my gosh! Why can't I do that all the time? It's so simple, just wait like a few milliseconds. Nah, I hate perks. I actually take all perks out of the game. Do you read the YouTube chat or the Twitch chat the most? I try to like read both. Yeah, I try to read both as much as I can. I have like literally, no, I don't think I can take a picture or show you in any way. But where did she go? Where did she go? Oh, I see. I didn't consider that. I thought she would just jump straight up. Clear move all perks if Juno can keep her triple jump. I'm down for this. I actually really like Juno triple jump. I fuck with Juno triple jump. Maybe that's just because I like playing Juno. But I also like haven't found a time to like complain about it much. Because Juno's just is squishy. Yeah, okay, but the cast one is a little ridiculous. Oh, my in timer's ringing. In timer, ring, 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 ring. Oh, if I just kept track of where the Emerald was, it could have been a really good play. But the in timer was ringing and I had to pick up. It's okay. Like I always say in the ranked lessons, the last 2 minutes of push are all that matters. I think for the most part, my Genji mechanics will probably be pretty decent. Into what's it called? Going into my trial. No, 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 no. Am I the only one seeing this? How'd it get over there? How'd the flashbang get all the way over there? If the cast was up there, how'd it get over there? Oh well. I appreciate their cast for making their presence known as they walk up on the left lane. Genji's so sick. It really feels cool. Like that second, like you dash and then you like pause. Like my brain does like the calculations of like where they could be and bang! It feels so cool. Maybe I'm deflecting too liberally. Maybe I can just hold it a bit more. I don't like that. What, are you aim checking me? Wait, maybe I deserve it. Maybe I deserve it. You know it's hard to hit. No, I meant to wall climb to get rid of my blade so I'd be able to shoot the Kiriko earlier, but then I ended up swinging while I was still putting the blade away. Yo, thank you for the follow on Uncle Chen. I love Intanon Genji. Nice shot. Yeah, I'm clicking. I'm not holding down right mouse button. It's better practice to click, I think, because you can actually build the consistency way more rather than just trying to track and then hoping that it lines up. With projectiles, you'll see a lot of the best projectile players in the world go for those like kind of big flicks because it makes it way easier for your brain to just kind of like calculate like movements in like one little second instead of like over the course of like several seconds, if that makes sense. So they can just kind of like predict where like a target would be. How did she live? Oh well. That was fun though. I love Intanon Genji. I was just kind of going in there and dying. Oh, but who got play of the game? But who got play of the game? I do not forget Noah. We don't talk about what happens after. Always enjoy watching Genji. Genji's so much fun. Actually, so much fun. Does that get us back up to champ? No, not quite. Oh well. Oh, our Genji gets champ though. Let's go. What are Hero SRs looking like? Hero SRs are so silly. I have no idea how they are possibly calculated. My Wrecking Ball is 3,800. Damn. Yeah, but everything else is like in placements around high GM or GM plus ish. That's kind of fun. I really want to play one more, but I gotta eat so I can perform well in scrim since my performance definitely was declining. So thank you guys in the stream for watching. The ranked lessons that we did a little bit earlier will be going up probably in a few days, but for now I'm going to be dipping. For my YouTube audience, sorry, this will be the end, and then our Twitch audience, I will be trying to find someone to raid. Hopefully Lukewarm is streaming, because I love Lukewarm. Really good guy. But goodbye.